It is a nice day today. It is not too hot for the first time in weeks, so I can actually stream. Oh, my lights aren't on. Actually, this looks okay, right? This doesn't look too dark. If I see my light on. Is that too bright now? That's good to know that I can turn the lights off if it gets too hot. That feels way too blown out. Hold on. Hey, does it, Joseph? How's it going? Dude, I'm telling you, if I start making more money, I'm gonna be looking for a video editor. It just might not be for a while. Paranormal Pixie, how's it going? 1 second, let me play with my camera for a second. I think that's better, probably. Also. Is that better? Oh yeah, that's way, way better. How's it going, guys? It's a lovely day in New Mexico. What's the temperature like there? Cool cylinder, what's going on? Just at work, crying, screaming. Oh, you mean screaming? Throwing up? Oh no. Is your job, like, stressful today? Guys, I got AC. I got air conditioning. It's a dream come true. It's all been thanks to your your Twitch donations, honestly. There's an issue, and that is, if you can hear it, if I turn it on. It's very, very loud. I don't know what that sounds like to you, but it's probably awful. So I can't have it on while I... Hey, turn off. Can't really have it on while I stream or film. But my god, is it nice to have in general. YouTube comments turned off? Well, it's a stream, RoboDad. But is my chat turned off, do you mean? No, people are chatting in the chat. I think. So there'll be no comments until the live stream is over. Right? I think that's how it works. I think that is how it works. It's barely audible on YouTube. Oh, it's audible to me. You didn't hear it? You didn't hear it at all? That's crazy. This mic is a good microphone. Okay, so in an emergency I can turn it on and survive a little bit. I tried commenting on YouTube, but you can't. In the chat? You mean typing in chat like you're doing now, RoboDad? Yeah, there's... other people are okay with it. Oh. I don't know. I don't know, RoboDad. I definitely haven't put you on any list. Don't worry about that. So what's the reason? Content creator, man, tell us. Well, look, I've got a bunch of stuff we can look at today about it, and I can give you why I think they left. But I would love to hear why you guys think they fully left. Why you on Twitch now? I appreciate you on Twitch. Hey, if you've got that free Twitch Prime, throw it at me. Before we get into that, though, I did just come across... This just came across my desk. On the Daggerheart Reddit. New table about to start our first Daggerheart game. Any tips or things we should know? And I was like, oh, I wonder what people are saying. What are the tips for new Daggerheart people that the Reddit lot are throwing out? Run a quick start adventure and use pre-gen characters. Yeah, that's always smart, especially that quick start adventure they have on Daggerheart website is actually really good for like learning the game. Read the GM principles, that's huge. be patient, I think, is the biggest one. And that's just like for running the game and being a player. I think players have had it so easy in like D&D especially, where they can get away with so much stuff. When reality, it's they need to be patient as well with the DM, with each other, and like, yeah, I don't know. Entitled players are, oof. Don't be afraid to use fear to break up player turns when they get several actions by spending fear. Yeah, not spending fear is like not fun for anyone at the table. You need to be spending fear at all times. And you can spend fear for smaller stuff. But no player likes looking at a GM and seeing that they've got full fear at all times. You only have white t-shirts. That's so funny, Ringtail, because I literally... I have, I think, 5 of these white t-shirts. I have 5 of them. They're all the same t-shirt. They're all from Uniqlo. I love them to bits. And I do keep wearing them, and they get washed, they keep getting put on top, and I keep wearing the same things. I have 6 of them, I think, actually. And then all my other t-shirts are also this t-shirt in different colors. I'm that guy. I know what I like, and I just buy it. Shinty, how's it going, man? Long time, dude. I've barely been surviving the heat wave. Barely been surviving. Panel Pixie, it's for the comments tab. Yeah, comments will be disabled on YouTube because there's no comments on live streams, but the chat should be there. You been busy? Nice. Did your first D&D session a month ago? Was pretty good. Oh yeah? Were you nervous? Were you stressed? Afterwards, Shinty, did you have like a feeling of existential dread where you didn't know if you did good or not? I'm going to catch the VOD on YouTube when I'm done. My lunch break is ending. Stay well, Uncle Phil. I don't love the uncle thing. I'm not going to lie, but it's fine. It's true. Recently, I've been getting so many videos in my algorithm from creators who are just making the best YouTube videos I've ever seen. Millions of views. And all these creators are legit, like, 19 years old. I'm too late. I'm too late to it. Very nervous and stressed. Yeah, Shinty. That can happen. That gets way easier with time. But you have the hang of it now. Nice. Nice. I feel that. They scare me. The kids on YouTube. Oh, man. They're good, though. They are making some absolute great stuff. I've seen a bunch of posts recently attacking women, like, who are streamers, for being old. And they're, like, 28 years old. They're like, she's 28, she's out of her prime. And I'm like, that's an insane thing to say. Anyone else's mind just go blank after they finish a session? I feel like I woke up from a daydream every time. Dude, when I finish a session now, I have so much energy. I'm like energized to the point where I can't sleep. Like we finish at like 11 o'clock at night. Everyone leaves the house and goes home. And then I'm just like wired. It's like I've just drank a gallon of coffee. Imagine being 28. I would love to be 28. Dude. So young. Shouts out to the 30 to 50 crew. Yeah. Yeah, it's for real. Alright. So, yeah, what I wanted to do in this live stream in general was talk about the kind of news cycle. As always, every week there's like a news cycle. And this week it is talking about Jeremy Crawford and Chris Perkins, because we've seen them a lot more now. They left D&D to go to Daggerheart, and people are asking why. Why did they do that? And the answer's obvious to most people, but they've come out and they've said a bunch of stuff now. and I kind of like, I don't know, I think it's just something that's worth talking about. Oops. I think it's just something that's worth talking about. It's not going to be like, there's no insane drama here. This isn't like the D&D scandal just got worse, or the Daggerheart scandal just got worse. This is more just a discussion about like the state of the industry, which I've just been enjoying talking about a lot recently. Half 57, and I'll never stop loving TTRPG. Nice, Paranormal Pixie. Yeah, my audience skews like not in the 20s. I think it's like 30 to 50 is my main audience, and then I've got like more people 50 plus than I do sub like kids, which is I like that a lot. They seem to hint at stifled creative freedom. Yeah, I mean, look, let me pause the music, grab this. So 54 then, nice, Jimmy. No, we can save that for later. We can save that for later. But interestingly, the interviews are coming out. Character Sheet did a video yesterday talking about the fact that they don't think they're going to be making any more Candela Obscura stuff in the future, and that they're going to be concentrating on D&D. And this is really telling to me, because there were so many like haters that were coming out saying, oh, the only reason Daggerheart is doing so well is because the Critical Role fandom is just buying it because they love them and they'll buy anything. And it's like, did we forget that Candela Obscura came out and it came for Critical Role and didn't do anywhere near as well? So like Daggerheart has something else, you know, beyond that. To be honest, it's good for WotC as well, because Wizard got new blood. Yeah, we need to see what happens with Wizards. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. All right, so yeah, Christopher Perkins. Today I retire from Wizards after 28 years. With D&D's 50th anniversary wrapping up and revised rulebooks doing gangbusters, this is the perfect fairy tale ending for me. I can't wait to enjoy D&D purely as a fan again, knowing the game's in good hands. See you in the Feywild. I wonder if he's contractually allowed to play D&D now. Jeremy's not posted for a very long time, but that's probably because Twitter is not fun to be on. And then we have these videos from Todd Kenrick. Yeah. Then we have these videos from Todd Kenrick, who is doing a great job continuing interviewing people. And I've not watched these yet, and there's two of them, so I figured we would burn through this.
You thought you got rid of me. I somehow got an interview with both of you again.
We're delighted. Yes.
We were hoping we would be right back here with you.
Yes.
Honestly, the commute here to Burbank from where I live is easier than the commute to Seattle, so it's literally shorter.
I think Todd is going to start
really messed up, so
Really messed up.
not too hard.
And he's going to do really, really
And
well.
then it's really
Another
bad.
state
Like,
is shorter than driving up the
Go
freeway.
through the
Follow Captain
TSA and
Cosmo.
all of it
Also, let me know if I'm too loud.
than hitting the
Or if they're too loud
405.
and I'm too quiet.
This is a big deal. You are at Darrington Press. This was a shock. Like this, there were news.
Now, interestingly, they were quite forward-facing, like on camera a lot and in the public image a lot with D&D. So it makes sense that they're kind of getting that a lot on Critical Role now. It's like they've not hired game designers, they've hired personalities as well to sell these products, which is smart. I've not really seen anyone else talk about this, but Jeremy Crawford and Chris Perkins must get paid a lot. This is all presumptuous stuff here, but I'm presuming it's like in the general sphere of hiring game designers, they're up there for how expensive they are. So that's just another point towards Daggerheart being incredibly successful if they can afford them. Not just one, but two of them.
Articles and videos and all kinds of
Too loud?
coverage about this. Like, what made Darrington Press a good fit for both of you?
So we have had the joy
Better?
of working with different members of Critical Role over the last 10 years. And so already felt a kinship with this place, with these people. And we really love the valuing here.
Is Darrington Press so a little pay cut, maybe?
And also of the
might be getting a percentage of the sales too, that's true.
As a vehicle to empower other people's storytelling. And the passion for that, the passion for it as an art form and bringing joy and empowering other people.
It's the good stuff.
It just flows through this place. And that really, I think, is what has always empowered us. And so it really, in many ways, has felt like coming home. And also the fact that this place is so animated by live play, and Chris and I both being a part of Acquisitions Incorporated, that's also a part of our work and our play. And so the combination of all of those elements.
That is true. Like D&D has pushed away almost from actual plays recently, when there's such a great focus and marketing tactic. And both these two, I just realized Jeremy's face is like hidden. Both these two people are so actual play forward facing, and like I think just love them as an art form. It just makes sense that they would rather work for this kind of company.
Elements here, in many ways, it's hard to imagine a better fit.
Yeah, it's exciting to be part of this company for so many reasons. As Jeremy has pointed out, the people are wonderful. The fact that sort of entertainment centered.
Critical Role didn't just hire
the sort of belief
game
system
designers; they hired actual play DMs as well
for
the future,
its own sake is important.
Which
Artists
is huge.
are important. The audience is important, and all those things are kept at forefront in everybody's mind with everything that they work on, and everything is put together so lovingly and with such passion and care. It's very easy to be swept up in that and to want to be part of that.
Yeah. Clearly you are up to hijinks. What's it like working with like Rowan and Spencer and unpacking Daggerheart and seeing that system? Because I am actively learning Daggerheart. I've watched a video on it. I've read through it several times. I've noticed one thing that happens continuously is I'll read something and then I'll close the book and I'll daydream because there's a lot of possibilities. Anytime you have a thing called a ribbit, or I can play a fun girl, there's...
The crazy thing about this is that Chris Perkins and Jeremy Crawford leave. It looks voluntarily they left the company to work for the competition, right? I know some people don't like talking like that because it's like, it's all good for the whole industry and stuff. But that's what they did. They left and they worked. They probably got headhunted by the competition. They went to the competition, and then Wizards of the Coast lay off Todd here, the interviewer that pushed so much for them, and was like literally kind of a household name when it comes to anyone keeping their finger on the pulse of like D&D. That's the wildest thing to me. Like letting him go is wild.
There are a lot of options for storytelling. So, like, what struck you the most right away?
Well, Spencer and Rowan, like the rest of the team, so talented.
Why did Todd get let go? We don't know. Like pay cuts, they were doing a bunch of layoffs. So he was just one of them. Just doing the interview. Hold on, let's actually. He does say. What does he say on his? Todd Kenrick. How long ago was it? Before this. Superman stuff, big fan of Superman. I have been laid off from D&D. Thank you to Chris Perkins, Jeremy Crawford, and the entire D&D team for being some of the kindest, most talented and passionate people I've ever known. This was my dream job. The tabletop community has given me everything. So yeah, he got laid off. He doesn't really give any other reasons for that or anything like that. So it sucks.
And I think we have felt a kinship with them immediately upon.
Crystal looks
joining the
nervous
team.
AF on camera. You think? I think these
And
guys
also,
kill it on camera. I think they're
like sort of
absolutely in
earlier
their natural
our
habitat.
Careers, also, they worked on multiple games, and so in many ways it's been fun.
Because they
to
sulked
return
and
to
threw out
that.
all the fans of the big two. I think,
Because
I
on
don't know
one
about that. I
hand,
think they
it was
just
an honor,
wanted to shift marketing
get
stuff.
to
Like
work on and
what they
shepherd
saw,
D&D for so many
as like
years.
what they had been
Also,
doing for the
part
past
of our
5
roots
years
is
wasn't working,
working on
so they
other
changed it
games.
all up.
And it has been a fun challenge, and really both of those true, fun and challenging to dig into a new framework, a new set of design assumptions, different North Stars.
And also looking through the lens of CR, different ways to bring the game to a larger community.
So that's huge. They kind of talk about two things there. The first is that they it seems like they left D&D to work on a new system because they wanted to play around with the new system. It's exciting and it's fun to them. And also they talk about the ability to reach a wider audience, which is crazy to say because D&D is such a staple of the TTRPG side. But Critical Role can reach an insane audience. Like, look at it this way. When Chris Perkins used to do videos with Todd for D&D, D&D has 300,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. It's just not much of an audience. But now they get to be on Critical Role, a channel with millions of subscribers. They just get to be wider reaching. So that's a huge thing.
It's Critical Role, not a challenge rating.
Yes.
That is funny.
Todd made some interesting tweets the other night and then deleted them. That made me think they may be replacing him with creators doing interviews. Wait, what tweets, Nerdcore? Is that true? I want to know what tweets he sent out and deleted.
How quickly we have already
You acclimated really quick.
I mentioned it's hard to imagine a better fit. It was fast.
Yeah.
Amazing.
One of the things that we can think about is, how is what we're building, how's that going to be performed? How is it going to be expressed outside of the RPG? Because we have
Talking about
other
performance
ways
and actual players
to
again.
express what we make.
What you're making right now, whether it's campaign setting, campaign frame, or mechanics, that can influence an animated series.
They came across as kind of drunk tweets, honestly. Okay, well, unless we can find exactly what he did, I don't want to speculate too much about drunk tweets. Chris has said many times that he hates live DMing due to his anxiety. Oh, that was the reason he quit Acquisitions and Corporate for a while. It got too much for him to handle. Oh, I didn't know that.
That
Right.
can interview a live action film, possibly.
Yeah, see
or
if you
a
can web
video
back out
game.
that look like.
And now you're in the center of that. And you always were, but there's this legacy of D&D again that can, and I love D&D. I've been playing it since I was 8. I will never stop loving D&D. But its own identity could be a very big constraint in my own imagination sometimes. Sometimes I'll mock it, and sometimes I'm like, well, that's not the identity of D&D. I cannot play this type of creature or this type of person, or the mechanics aren't there necessarily. But there's a lot of freedom here. It still has a lot of identity, though. It feels very modern fantasy.
Yeah, it absolutely does. It also, though, and it wears this on its sleeve, because I love how the Daggerheart core book talks about its influences. And one of its influences is 5th edition.
Yeah, of course it is.
And so there's a lot of shared DNA.
Why else were you stolen? Why were you
Stolen.
Why were you thrown in a knapsack and taken away from me?
But in many ways, I
That's the creepiest thing Todd's ever said. Why are you taking away from me?
view any game as having design constraints. And I think that is an important part of keeping the design crisp, focused. And so rather than me sort of imagining that, the 50-year-old game that we worked on for so long having a bunch of constraints and this newer game having fewer, the way I view it is they each have constraints, and it's just a different.
Just joined, please catch you up. Cryo, sure. We're just looking at a bunch of new interviews and articles that have come out about Chris Perkins, Jeremy Crawford, who left D&D to go to Daggerheart. And there's a bunch of videos I've seen, which is why Chris Perkins and Jeremy Crawford joined Daggerheart. So yeah, we're watching them and we're discussing it.
Different type.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because to be true to any game we work on, we always need to look at, okay, where are the boundaries? Which boundaries can we push on without changing the identity of the game so much that it's no longer itself. Whereas, are there other places where we can just push and push and push, and the game will stretch to accommodate that? And the answer for where you can push and how hard you can push, it's definitely
Don't do what I
different
did.
for every
4 times
game,
speed
but I
Crawford
feel
is not
every game,
just
no matter
understanding the
how
guy.
old,
Yeah, I am
has
watching at 2
those-
times speed.
has
So
those
if you
spots,
also
sort of the
watch YouTube
firm
at 2 times
walls,
speed and you're
and then the
watching this
ones
VOD, it's going to be
that are,
very unwatchable.
very flexible or non-existent. Whereas, sometimes you'll even discover, oh, this thing I thought was a wall in the design, it's not there at all. We can just keep running
Yeah,
for miles
exactly.
in that direction.
And by no means was it meant any criticism. It's just like, yeah, you suddenly find weird freedoms you didn't have necessarily before. That's got to be like kind of alarming and exciting. Yeah.
And one of the I think similarities that Critical Role and Darrington Press have to the D&D team that we worked on is there's a scrappiness, and that scrappiness requires you to be inventive and clever.
Yeah.
And it's sort of.
Now we're getting into the juicy stuff. This is kind of the stuff I wanted to talk about more than anything else. There's something about the scrappiness in Daggerheart, like it's with Darrington Press where they are now. It's kind of a smaller, faster moving machine that's just making stuff, right?
It keeps you on your toes, and it can lead to interesting design and interesting solutions. And
I think, now this is hearsay. This is just what I just wouldn't be surprised if this was true or not. I won't be surprised if this wasn't. I won't be surprised if this was true. Wizards of the Coast is so corporate-y, so corporate, to the point where it's like they probably have very little freedom to do crazy stuff and be incredibly creative. But at Darrington Press, they're kind of like off the leash. And that's probably very rewarding for a designer just to do whatever they want to be able to do with this new game system. That and I'm not surprised no one's talking about it. I know there's fatigue around it as well. But I think Chris Perkins and Jeremy Crawford got a lot of hate. A lot of hate. Hate mail, maybe even death threats after the OGL stuff, because people were so angry at Wizards of the Coast. Like, people were genuinely, they were saying people should be fired, they were hating on people. And to this day, I think there's probably some of that lying around with Wizards of the Coast, like so much hatred for them. Can you imagine going to work every day and just like knowing that people hate you? Absolutely hate you. I've seen some bad comments about these guys in like D&D videos where they're featured. I've looked through the comments and people are like mean to them. So the idea that they can go to Critical Role and Darrington Press, which is like being celebrated rather than hated, I think that's the main driving force here. I think that's why they left. It's like, we want to be liked, not hated.
I think that I find that very energizing as well.
Yeah, where we, there might be something we want to design, and like, well, there's no pre-existing solution to this, and so we need to solve it while inside a car that we are driving and building at the same time.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Do you think that's
really
why
exciting,
WotC are adding all this third-party content to 5e and D&D Beyond?
A
I
huge
think,
thank you to Chris Perkins
I think
and
WotC
Jeremy
are
Crawford.
just like
It was
trying
really-
to, hey guys, go join Todd's Patreon. It's a good question. I think the reason why D&D Beyond are adding so much like third-party content, and when I say third-party, it's all D&D still, obviously. They're adding all that to D&D Beyond to try and fix the OGL stuff still. They're trying to be like, oh, we're pro third-party creators. Please don't leave us. We're doing all this stuff. And I think it's just as part of a movement, because before that, they were trying to make a walled garden. They were trying to like stop all that stuff. So, unfortunately, you can't find the streets. That sucks. That sucks. Can you remember like kind of what they said? Any of it? I mean, we are in full gossip mode here, but yeah.
Beyond the campaigns you're working on, is there anything that has really struck out to you? Like, you moved, by the way. You moved to Los Angeles.
That's another thing as well. Maybe they wanted to move. Maybe they just wanted a change and they wanted to move, get a different house, make their life a little bit easier, downsize or upsize or whatever. I'm not saying that there has to be like some big juicy reason why they left. It could be like very small and mundane. But I do think if it was me, I would want to be getting out of the Wizards of the Coast ecosystem, where every month there's a new scandal and a lot of hate being thrown at the company in general, and get into an ecosystem that is the Critical Role where it's hype again. They get hype every like couple of weeks. There's a hype news article or a hype video. 100% disagree on the walled garden. You don't think that D&D Beyond was trying to be a walled garden with its 3D VTT and lack of third-party support for a time, and trying to do the OGL so that they could get more money from third-party people? Down with the walls. Yeah, that's kind of what they're doing now, thank God. Essentially, the tweet was, if I laid me off, I'd hire X people and pay them as much as they want. And the next one was like, not blaming someone for taking it. Oh, I saw that. No, nerd, you're right. Oh, I saw that. I saw that tweet 100%. I saw the one where he was like, anybody who goes to work for Wizards of the Coast now after they've done all this, like, I wouldn't blame them. Get that bag. Right? Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what that was about. Well, look, I'm not going to... That's hearsay. We literally will never know. But yeah. I didn't realize that he deleted that.
You have this brand new office space. You're interacting with like live play shows and having conversations about that. This has to be insanely exciting.
Not at all.
It was
what I would love to know is like, what did this hiring process look like? When did Darlington Press know that Daggerheart was going to be as successful as it was? And then when did they realize they had the budget to get these two? And then when did they start talking about it? Because was this happening like way before Daggerheart even came out? Or did this happen after the initial successful run? How fast was this turnaround? That's what I want to know.
That question. It wasn't my best journalism.
Yes.
It's
Voice
hard,
is exciting.
It's hard to wrap my brain around with what you're going through. Yeah.
I think it's even hard some weeks for us to fully wrap our minds around.
You think it was going to be mediocre until these guys came on? You mean Daggerheart? I don't think they've done anything yet. I don't think they did anything on in the core rulebook. Like, I don't think their names are in here. Because that would have ruined the news article that they left. Darlington Press team. Ivan Van Norman, Travis Willingham, Ed Lopez, Rachel Romero, Darcy Ross, Gary Thomas, Spencer Stark, Rowan Hall. Yeah, they're not in here. Critical Role employees. No, I mean, there's a lot of names here, but I certainly don't see them. So I don't think they had anything to do with the core rulebook. I don't think we've seen anything yet from them. Todd looks so happy interviewing them. I don't think they were anticipating anything after the Beacon launch. Yeah. D&D Beyond was going to add third-party content before it was purchased by WotC. Oh, I hear you. Okay. Perkins and Crawford would have been hired even if Daggerheart wasn't a thing. You think that, Jimmy? I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know if the budget was there. In all honesty, this is, you might be right. You might be right. But I'm unsure. I'll see if Daggerheart has legs. Check back in a year and check back how many sustainable Daggerheart tables there are. You sure? I mean, games ebb and flow anyway, right? I'm sure they did some kind of uncredited consultation at some point. Why would they? Why would they do that uncredited? Like, maybe they played a game. Yeah, maybe they played a game and gave feedback. If that's what you mean, like play tested it. What is up, ChatGPT? Yeah. Yeah. Critical Role hired game designers and live play DMs. It's a smart move. It is a smart move. You might be right. Yeah, maybe they were wanting to bring them on as DMs. It's just that, are they not some of the most expensive DMs they could possibly ever get? I don't know. I've said before that I basically run D&D with the players, which is daggerheart, which is all daggerheart does anyway.
I was just commenting on that today. Every day I feel like I'm pinching myself because this wasn't on the grand galactic scheme. Like if you had asked me 10 years ago would I ever be working here, I would have gone.
Yeah. And so was Matt. Matt was just saying, he's like, what is happening? Jeremy and Chris are here.
Right? Yeah. Yes, and driving into work, it's like, oh, there's the Hollywood sign. Wait, there's the Hollywood sign. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
That's where I am now. It's strange. I mean, we've only been here a short time.
Yeah.
How long?
So it's obviously very fresh. We're still discovering things, finding our ways, trying to remember which way to turn left to go to the bathroom. All the usual stuff of a new employee, which is an experience I haven't felt in a hell of a long time.
Same here.
Yeah,
28
it's been
years.
17, 18 years for him, and it's been 28 years for me since we had that, we're the new kid wandering around and
God, what a weird combination, because you are like the old school and the new school.
What?
Old school and new school at the same time.
What's that, Tom?
Hey.
A fun duo.
Cookie was aluminum, clearly safe funnels.
I think he said his name was Tough.
Wow.
He seems like a nice young
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So there's sort of the fresh kid feeling, and it's. I hope that lasts a good long while while we're sort of fumbling around and playing games and meeting a whole bunch of new friends and people and getting to know all the little bits of the organization and how the ins and outs of how everything works. It's been a wonderful experience.
Yeah, they're brand new there still. They're brand new.
And but I'm comforted by the fact that I have Jeremy as a familiar face, as somebody with whom I've worked for years, and we can bring our rhythm and our.
I gotta say, that's why I like these guys so much. I think why a lot of people like these two is because the vibe I used to get, and the same with Todd, is like, are they friends? Do they even like each other? Or is this just a corporate move by Wizards of the Coast to put them together and pump out stuff? And now that they've come over here together, I'm like, they are friends. They genuinely get on and like each other and want to work together and make stuff together. And do interviews with Todd and like be like a family, and it just kind of warms my heart to see this, because it's why I always hoped was the case.
Drums and everything else that we have.
Azure Sky 64, thank you for the subscription with Prime. That goes a long way. Thank you very much.
And sort of add what we have to the beat and have.
Chris got Jeremy his job at what city? Did he? I did not realize that. So they were friends beforehand?
We find ourselves in.
Yeah, and it also.
Piker, thank you for the subscription with Prime. Goes a long way. Keep it coming. I'll be able to get better AC soon.
I mean, yeah, us having each other has been a wonderful anchor.
And a hype train. Love it.
Having among so many transitions at once, you know, living in a new place, starting a new job, working on a new game, and it's also been wonderful and really an honor to arrive just as Critical Role is celebrating 10 exciting
Acquaintances,
years.
Definitely, yeah.
And then for them to embrace us and ask us to join them in imagining the next 10 years. And that has been, it's not only been exciting, frankly, it's been moving to have that kind of trust placed in us and to be able to put up.
Yeah, there must also be a feeling of like, it must be nice for there to be a plan in action. Like if you're coming from Wizards of the Coast, where the plan is like, we're going to keep switching out CEOs and we're going to keep laying off people until we get a system that is like making us a lot of money, and that's our end goal. but we don't have like a set plan. Like for me, if I worked at Wizards of the Coast and then the Sigil stuff happened, where they were like gonna create this whole new video game style VTT, and it was gonna be like the way to play D&D now. And then after like a year, it's just like, oh, we don't know what we're doing. We're gonna scrap this and we're gonna pivot, and it keeps pivoting. The idea of moving to I'm not saying that Critical Role and Darrington Press aren't also going to be pivoting and trying to find out what works, but it's more expected from them because they are a smaller studio and they are experimenting. Like, it feels like Wizards of the Coast shouldn't be experimenting as much as they are when their bottom line is to earn as much money as possible. Those two things don't match and don't hit the same place. But with Darrington Press, its main thing is, let's experiment, let's create something awesome. And I think for them to come in and be like, okay, let's look at the next 10 years. I'm so excited for the next 10 years in the future. It must be really nice. You think they had that kind of family at Wizards of the Coast? That's why they were there so long. Hasbro broke it up. Yeah, and when I say like WotC, like Wizards of the Coast are like doing things, I kind of say that interchangeably with Hasbro. Like the whole thing is kind of, it feels messy. It feels messy over there. Wizards of the Coast saved D&D being bought into Hasbro is one of the worst things that could have happened. Being a publicly traded company is awful for a TTRPG company. Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head there.
Our minds and our hearts together with the rest of the team to imagine where can we collectively be in the next 10 years? What can we do for Daggerheart and beyond? And there's so many exciting possibilities.
I also wonder, now we are getting into the hearsay area, but I just wonder if at Wizards of the Coast, when they drop a big book, system, like they did the new core rule updates, and before that, they worked on 5e, right? The initial release of 5e. I wonder if there's just like a really boring time after they release something like that. Because they're going to be playing 5e for 10 years. They're going to be playing these core rule books, revised rules, for 10 years. And like, it's probably fun and exciting to create those books, which is what they did. But then after that happens, they just go on like the grind. It's like, we're just going to pump out book after book after book. And it doesn't matter if it's like good or not, we just have to pump stuff out. And then eventually we're going to make another edition. And that's when the exciting time happens again.
Many, I mentioned before, different horizons that we're looking at. And, it's, joking about our ages, I'm now hoping we have like an extra dose of years so we can see where all of this goes. Yeah. Because I'm already so excited about seeing where all of these different paths are headed.
You can't see this.
I'm a leap year baby, so I'm really only 14. I've got a ways to go.
Thank you.
A huge thank you to Chris Perkins and Jeremy Crawford.
But that was so nice that's so sad and nice to be like, talk about their age and hope that they live longer to see where all this goes. What the hell? Yeah. I also have seen, I think I've got it here. It might have said in that video and I might have spoken over it or sped past it. One of the things they said is that they plan on relaxing a bit with the releases at Darrington Press. So Daggerheart's not going to see new books coming out every 2 months, like at Wizards of the Coast. They're just going to be concentrating on making the best books possible, and it might be like one a year, maybe 2 a year, which as like a fan, I've actually got mixed feelings about it actually, because. As a fan of Daggerheart, I want them to make good books. And I don't need to buy a new book every 2 months, every 3 months. I don't need that. I would rather get a book every 6 months. or like updates every 6 months. As a content creator, it sucks. It sucks. I want new stuff coming out all the time so I can review it and talk about it. But as a fan, which is, who cares about content creators? As a fan, I 100% want them to slow down with releases, take their time with it, make good stuff. You can tell that this was not rushed in any way, shape, or form, and it's a phenomenal book. Equally, you can tell that the core D&D rulebooks weren't rushed. They weren't. These are really, really good books. But then the Dragon book, which I don't have up here, Dragon Delves, that came out from D&D, like last month, was rushed. I could tell it was rushed. Like, they just pump it out. It sucks. It sucks because I want to make a video about it and be excited, but it's like, oh, this is just like lackluster. And it's not a dig. That's not a dig at like the expertise of the people writing the book and the artists and all that stuff. It's simply that they just haven't given themselves enough time to make it the best it can be. So I think D&D might have to change things now because the competition is so much higher. But we'll see. You should do a giveaway for a Daggerheart book. I've thought about stuff like that. The issue is, how do I don't want to send stuff, across the world. I don't want to be like, I don't want someone to win the giveaway in Brazil, and I've got to figure out that stuff. But maybe like I could do digital giveaways. Like I could ask Demiplane if they want to send me some free digital books that I can give away. That would be easier. Sending anything international is a pain. Yeah, just sending stuff to America is hard right now. From Canada. Like, I could drive there, but I can't. It's hard to send stuff over there. What's not the best? Let's live for a bit. Oh, I was talking about the new Dragon Delves D&D book. Their latest adventure module that came out, which I just did not like, really. Digital stuff would work, yeah. Yeah, I wonder if there's any gifting in place on like Demiplane where I can just gift a book to someone. We'll see. I'll look into it because I really am not against doing giveaways. I made a video on the Dragon one, yeah, I did, and it was a letdown, to say the least. Once again, not bad. It's just, not great. So there's also the other side where like, are the employees at Wizards of the Coast just being worked to the bone because they have to release a book every 3 months? Are they just literally like, go, and then people slip up and they put AI art in there by accident, and then people hate the company? Maybe. So if Jeremy and Chris were just like approached by Downton Press and they were like, hey, we want you to write a book for us, make a system, or like make a setting, and take as long as you want. When it's done, it's done. And then they look at Wizards of the Coast and they're like, oh, we need this in 6 months. Like, we need it. Go. And Downton Press are there being like, hey, we're super chill. Do what you can. Enjoy yourself. You'd be like, oh, I want to work at Downton Press. I feel like every 3 months is bad. No AI in our art. Yes, I agree. I'm also suspicious of like, if there's AI in the art, is there AI in the writing? You gotta look out for those M dashes. That's been the biggest thing for me since AI's come out, is like, it's made me really suspicious of just anyone writing. I'm like, is this email AI? Because I don't want people. You can write me an email. You don't need to send it through AI, Chris has mentioned deadlines at WotC, yeah. No idea on his stance on them, but deadlines were mentioned. Yeah. I'm sure, like, it was stressful for a long time at Wizards of the Coast. I'm sure, like, there was hate from the community, there was push down from the top to make more money, and there was just trying to make a good product with all that stuff going on, it probably wasn't that fun to work at. And it probably was at one point, 8 years ago. It was probably a dream job. They were probably like, I cannot believe I have this job here. This is the best job in the world. I love it. And then to watch it slowly become like hard and taxing and stressful. And then for Darrington Press to be like, hey, we're new and shiny over here. You wanna come over? Yeah, I'd go too. AI is very easy to fake. Even the biggest supposed other than D&D games, which are D&D really, their third-party creators give 5e stats in the same materials. Jimmy? Even the biggest supposed... I might be an idiot, but my brain's not braining with that. But yeah. And then we have like the other Daggerheart news, which is that Daggerheart, the D&D rival from the Critical Role team, hits 500,000 characters online. It hasn't really slowed. Yeah. It's fun. And like I said, the fun thing about I want more information. I want more sales information from Demiplane and from anywhere. Like, that's the worst thing. As someone who wants this information and wants to make videos about it, like, whenever I hear that Daggerheart sold out worldwide and all this other stuff, I'm like, what does that mean? How many sales did they have? Give me the numbers. I want to know. We don't really get that, but certainly everything is pointing. More so than I ever thought, actually. Just with added stuff, when you put everything together, when you put the fact that it's sold out worldwide 3 times, when you look at the fact that I cannot get Daggerheart anywhere in my local game stores, it's always out of stock. When you look at the fact that it is kind of dominating social media right now, and it's like there's so many videos being made about it on YouTube. When you look at the fact that all these companies are signing up to work with them, Daggerheart is like a bigger success than I think it is. I think they've made a lot of money. The only curveball that is throwing me a bit is that they are kickstarting the class in a box cards. I'm like, you need to kickstart it. But I was thinking about making a video that is all about why and how Daggerheart is sold out all the time. How is it like always sold out? Why can't I just make more? Like, just print more copies. Like, if they're leaving money on the table, can't they just pump a load of money into making more and just getting it in more shelves and stuff? Obviously, I don't know a lot about distribution stuff. But it does make sense because they're not just printing books. They're printing cards as well. So that cannot be easy to coordinate. They kind of shot themselves in the foot there for like getting stuff in stock, because I'm sure they have to like have a proper, like, either the same place that prints cards and books, or they have to go to do different places and package it all together somehow. It can't be an easy thing to do. Pathfinder has never outsold D&D. Yeah, we don't know if Daggerheart has outsold D&D either. That's the thing, because we don't have D&D numbers and we don't have Daggerheart numbers, unfortunately. It's not sold out where you are. Really? Dude, you could buy a bunch of Daggerheart books and sell them in other places for, like, way more. That's 7 stores, and I went out 250 miles, and that's another 7. Oh, places sold out? Yeah. You can't get one in Toronto. You cannot get one of those books in Toronto. Wait, where are you again, Cool Cylinder? Kickstarter helps them gauge interest before making big print orders. Yeah, but if they are doing as well as they are, look, I love Daggerheart. I don't want to, but if they're doing as well as I think they are, and they're selling out so much, then they're on par with D&D. And if D&D kickstarted a product, I think there would be uproar. I think they'd be, if Hasbro kickstarted a product, it would be like, just make the product and sell the product, you know? And we kind of have to treat them the same at this point. You're looking at stores from Texas to Florida, sold out. Yeah. I've tried many places here in the Netherlands, but it's sold out. Luckily, I have the big box, but my party doesn't. Right. Tasman, several individuals who worked for Paizo at the time and then worked for WotC have stated that Pathfinder never outsold D&D. Right. Yeah. Yeah, something could sell incredibly well and be incredibly successful for the company and not beat D&D, obviously. But yeah, I would like to know. I would like to know those numbers. Maybe I should like contact, see if we can get another interview with Matthew Mercer and Spencer Stark and call it. I asked Matthew Mercer how much he's making. Right. One thing's for sure, though. I am, like, a big fan that Chris Perkins and Jeremy Crawford are with Daggerheart now. It really does make sense. And I know I don't like playing... I don't want to come across like I love playing fanboy and I'm, like, spurring a war between D&D and Daggerheart. I don't want to be like that. But it's hard not to look at it and be like, wow. Daggerheart just took two absolute weapons from D&D. They just came in and just took them. And that it's just wild. It's a wild move and really solid. What's up, Red Hulk? How are the numbers for you, Phil, with all the streams? I really enjoy them. I really love streaming. And I was putting these videos... So I was editing these streams down. I've done it with two streams. I've edited the streams down. I've put them on a second channel, Bonus Re-Reaction on YouTube. Bonus Re-Reaction. And for like a channel with only like 700, 800 now subscribers... Those two did really well. And I want to get that channel monetized. And I think if I can get that channel monetized, and that's the system I have, I like stream, turn the streams into videos, put them on my second channel, and that makes me a little bit of money. This could be very worth it. But it really does depend. It really does depend. Right now, I think on YouTube in general, views have been lower. So I'm like struggling a bit, but I'm hoping... I've also not been making as many videos as I normally would either, because it's just been too hot. So as soon as it cools down, I'm going to go absolutely to town on both channels and see how much I can make by the end of the year. But for me in general, since Daggerheart's come out and I've been making Daggerheart content, I don't think I'm getting more views. I'm not getting more views, in fact, but I don't think I'm getting less. I think it's exactly the same. The issue is it splits the audience, because there are some people out there who only like D&D and will not watch Daggerheart content. And then I'm just not making videos for them anymore, so you'd think views would go down. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Maybe I make one channel Daggerheart related and the other channel D&D related. But I kind of really want to just like be system agnostic moving forwards on my main channel. The next video I'm working on is about session zeros for like any TTRPG. I want to come up with like a guide that can be used for Most, maybe not any, but most TTRPGs tend to have like a very similar setup when it comes to session zeros. So we'll see how that goes. You wouldn't buy more. Wait. You were never a fan of either of those guys while they were promoting D&D 2024, but I think that was mostly because they never really seemed sincere about liking what they were doing. Fair enough. I wouldn't buy more than 3 copies at a time. Price one nearly face price, one with a little bit more. And then, are you guys talking about scalping? Michi, are you talking about buying Daggerheart books and then reselling them? Don't be doing that, guys. Spread out and put money on several horses, yeah. The DM layer's more agnostic these days, as is Professor DM. Check in with them. Yeah, I think so. I've been chatting a little bit to Bob Worldbuilder, who I think is a fantastic creator, about like a future video idea. But it's just what it is. It's just it ebbs and flows over here. It ebbs and flows. DM's light is mostly D&D. That's why he's still successful. Oh. Professor DM is mostly D&D as well. Yeah, I've seen... Professor DM did like a Daggerheart video recently, and I think... But Professor DM also came out and said he didn't like Daggerheart as well. Like, they played it at one point, and he was like, yeah, it's not better. But, I mean, my biggest competition right now in the YouTube space, I hope they don't mind me saying this, is the character sheet. The character sheet is pumping out content right now, and a lot of Critical Role Daggerheart stuff. And look, they have more subscribers than me. I want to beat them. I want to beat them. I hope they succeed as well. But they are much more like sensationalized, news headline-y things. And in fact, I did want to watch this because I was doing my last stream talking about this Ludwig show. So let's see what they talk about here.
One of YouTube's biggest stars may have just created the next huge actual play.
The imagination game full of wonder and magic. Here, let me roll to kill my inner child. It's a 2.
Dude. Before we talk about Ludwig and his friends stepping into the actual play.
You don't have the voice in the character sheet, but the content is. I don't think I can do much about the voice. I have a lot of people who hate my voice, so
A new actual play has taken
my heart goes out to them.
Getting over 600,000 views on its first episode just a week after it came out. And with
What is it on now? What is that actual play on now?
one of YouTube's biggest...
Oh, what is...
Hey everyone.
Okay, episode 1, 619k in 9 days. Yeah, I think that's slowly going to build until it hits 1 million. And then 162k in 2 days is solid, like pullover. Especially if the thumbnail isn't clickbait and one of them did die. But yeah, those numbers are really good for an actual play. Oh, this is also about the D&D thing as well. But they're kind of on par with the other videos on this channel. So,
with the backing and participation of some of the biggest creators on YouTube. And no, it's not the return...
I've played Daggerheart and it's not a sub for D&D. What do you mean by that, Red Hulk? Like, what do you mean by that? Because I also play Daggerheart, and I think it's a good substitution for D&D. Like, if your table gels with it. There are no D&D killers. like, I get the sentiment, but it's what you mean by a D&D killer, because some people think that D&D is killing itself, you know? You always prefer the more intelligent sounding British accents. Good to know, good to know. It's wild that some folks are not curious about other systems. 5e is fun, but it's not the end-all, be-all. For me, Daggerheart and Draw Steel are considerably more exciting than 2024. Yeah, Michael, I think it's just the time and effort involved in learning a system and playing a system is so great that most people don't just... And they'll get the same out of Daggerheart that they get out of D&D. Like, that's the thing. I truly believe that. I feel like my players would be very happy playing either one. I like... Some of them may have a preference towards one or the other, but as far as, like, telling a collaborative story together, having those fun moments, hanging out with your friends, creative thinking, all the stuff that, like, I think people enjoy playing TTRPGs for, you can get that from both of them. So, there's that. But, good point, Hasbro is the D&D killer. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think, when people say that D&D is untouchable and that it can't be killed, and I don't like that term, but it can't be knocked off its, like, monopoly spot, I think is close-minded in today's age. Like, it's been 50 years. In the grand scheme of the world, barely any time's passed at all. Yeah, it's like in our lifetimes, D&D is like a household name and it's been around forever. And it may seem like it's not going to go anywhere, but we've seen that happen with other stuff in the past a lot. Like, it happens. Like, Blockbuster's gone, you know? So to say it's never going to be killed or it's never going to go out, more likely it's never going to go out of fashion or out of style. I think that's a misnomer. Because I thought it did, right? Did it not go out of fashion and style with 4th edition? Have we not already seen it, like, die and come back? I wonder how DC20 will do. Yeah. So the big thing about, like, DC20 and Draw Steel and the Cosme RPG as well is that they're all kind of coming out after Daggerheart. And I think the Cosme RPG is going to do exactly what it's intending to do. I think it's going to be for Cosme fans, and they're going to have a great time with it, and I think it's going to sell well. It's already made the money. DC20 and Draw Steel are both Kickstarters where they... How much did DC20 make on Kickstarter? So DC20 made $2 million. And, like, obviously, you know, a lot of that money is probably going to go into making this book, but I don't think the full $2 million is going to go on it. Also, they have a Patreon, which was also funding this. So the amount of money over the past couple of years that has gone into this book is almost like, I hope this doesn't come across badly, but it's like it's made the money already. It's kind of like a success no matter what. Now, obviously, the creators will want it to be successful as far as, like, everyone's playing and they can keep making stuff for it. But it's kind of like, I feel this with Draw Steel, they've done enough where they're in. They're through the door. They don't have to beat Daggerheart. They don't have to beat D&D. They just have to be on some shelves and like, have some people playing it. And they're going to have that. They're going to be like Pathfinder. Or they're going to be like Tales of the Valiant. You know? They're there. So, but whether these are going to be insane... Honestly, I didn't think Daggerheart was going to be as successful as it actually has turned out to be. I'm very happy it has. Most Kickstarters are pre-order stores nowadays. Yeah. yeah, if DC20 has made $2 million with 20,000 backers, then like it's on 20,000 shelves, right? It's like done. It's done good. Draw Steel was not Kickstarter, was it? It was backer kit. And it made $4 million. It made $4.5 million with 30,000 backers. Yeah, it's interesting that you can see just exactly how much. So whether it's going to be a success or not is like how much it sells after that, I think, and like its longevity. Only time will tell. Only time will tell with those new systems. Yeah, you agree with my take. All my tables could easily happily play either system. They're all add that after GMing Daggerheart a couple of times, I found myself wishing 5e combat were more dynamic. Yeah, I actually went. I've ran 2 sessions of Daggerheart and a session 0. That's all I've actually ran in this campaign. And I've actually only played it maybe twice more before that for my review video. Now I've got a long-term campaign going, but it took a while because I had to finish my D&D campaign. So I went from like D&D to Daggerheart, and there was a lot of whiplash there. But then I was trying to figure out like, oh, the combat is odd in Daggerheart when you first get to it. It's very different. I was trying to figure out the best way to do it and whether it was better or not than D&D. Then I went to an event where I played D&D with another DM, and we were level 5, and we had a character who could have summons, and this other player character summoned a bunch of creatures, and I watched this DM, and this is just very normal in D&D. I watched this DM adding Grusha Art, subscribe to the channel for resubscribe for 9 months. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I was playing D&D and I was watching him add stuff to the initiative list, asking people what they rolled for initiative, keeping track of it. Other players were summoning things. He was adding more stuff. He missed 1 or 2 goes of his own NPCs because there was just so much going on in this battle. And this was only level 5. And this happened to me all the time. All the time. You are like spinning way too many plates in combat for D&D as a DM. Way too many. And like some are easier, some are harder. Like if you have a group of just like people who do very simple moves, they just hit things, they just go bonk and they're done, then like D&D is going to be easy. But the second you start adding like, oh, I drop this area of effect spell in a circle there on the map, and it's going to last there until you break my concentration. The second you add stuff like that, it becomes way complex. And I remember watching this DM like doing this combat, and he did a great job, but I was like, and I even said to him, I was like, you know, this is way easier and less stressful in Daggerheart. It is where it really like clicks for me to be like, oh man, this is way less stressful. Not to say that Daggerheart isn't stressful. Daggerheart is a different stress, where Daggerheart is like you're keeping track of hope and fear and resources, and when the DM has a go, it's more complex in the moment because you're like, you have way more options. You're like, what do I want to do with this spotlighted enemy? And do I want to spend fear to spotlight other enemies or do something with the environment? And like that moment can be a lot. But overall, I just feel like you can concentrate more in Daggerheart and you're less likely to skip people or lose track of things. US or Canadian rules? That's a good question. I don't actually know what back kit and Kickstarter are showing me, if it's in Canadian or American. I was about to say DC20 is rapidly becoming the Star Citizen of TTRPGs. Star Citizen is wild. I say that as a fan. I like Star Citizen. I do not like that it is not released yet, for sure. For anyone who doesn't know, Star Citizen is a video game that was said that they said it was going to be released 10 years ago. It was on Kickstarter, and it has made like $80 million at this point, and they keep pushing back release, but they keep selling ships on there, and they sell ships for like $1,000 a hit, or like hundreds of dollars, and it's just making money, and like people are like, it's never going to come out. Why would it ever come out? And they can just keep making the money. As a DM, if you have an issue with stuff like that, you can get the players to help. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But I'm just saying that I prefer Daggerheart because I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Right? In Daggerheart, you need to keep track of when and how much players go. That is much worse than D&D Initiative. So I've had no issue with that, to be honest. I have 5 players, and that's what I leave with them. I'm like, players, it's your job to, police each other. And whenever... This is actually, like... I don't know if this is, like, big brain or just, like obvious and simple, but I think I've found a great way of dealing with that in my combat, and it's whenever the players have the spotlight and someone needs to go, I, as the GM, say, okay, the spotlight's back to you. Does anyone feel like they've not been for a while? That's all I say. I'm like, does anyone feel like they've not been for a while? And 1 or 2 people will be like, oh yeah, I've not been for a while. It's like, and everyone else on the table, oh, you go then. It reminds the people who are going a lot to like take a step back. So I think that's my favorite little hack that I've come up with. Just make sure you always say, who's not been for a while? Star Citizen has made $800 million. Sorry. That's insane. As a DM, if you haven't... Yeah, about that. Yeah, ChatGPT. You've not had that experience. Your players figure it out themselves. Yeah. I think if I maybe had 6 or 7 players, it might get a bit more complex. But it's very easy to... They're just doing what they do outside of combat. They're just playing like they would outside of combat, and it's fine. If anything, my biggest issue is sometimes people not wanting to go because they're being too polite. That's more of an issue. Like, people are like, oh, are you not scared that you're going to have jerks on your table who are just like always going and like pushing too hard? I'm like, no, I'm scared I'm going to have really nice people at my table and everyone just lets other people go because they want to build each other up. But that's a good problem to have. And that's when you can kind of just ask people to be like, be more boisterous, get in there. And it's also easier to control because if people are being too hesitant, then I just like use a fear to like do something that makes them do something. Ingi, you finally got your physical copy of Daggerheart. Nice. It's nice, right? The autism meet Mountain Initiative, hate chaos like that. Yes, there is an argument, certainly for like more neuro-spicy people, that they like, that some people just really like the structure. They really like the structure. And D&D is better for those people. There's more structure in D&D. But because of that, there is... I've not heard many people say this, but because there's more structure in D&D, there's less creative freedom. That's just a fact. That just goes hand in hand. More structure equals less creative freedom. The game feels soft like kids wear safety pads when playing outside. How? That's just the way you're running it, Red Hulk. You can make it as like sharp or as soft as you want. You're the boss. I tell my players in daggerheart, God, my voice is breaking. I tell my players in daggerheart that when they succeed with hope and they can either keep the spotlight or pass it to one of the other players, and then 90% of the time pass it. Yeah. I've done that before where I've only mentioned this to like one of my players, but I want to mention it to everyone, and it's like, if someone feels like they've not been for a while and they go and they miss, or they don't have an impactful move, I think it should be like a house rule or a house agreement that like they just get to go again. They get the spotlight on them again, unless they roll with fear. But it sucks. It's still the same issue with D&D. It sucks if you have a go and it doesn't feel impactful, and then you need to wait to have another go. It doesn't take too long to take a go in Daggerheart either. So. Initiative might be linear, but that is no limitation on story development for your players. Some players are enjoying themselves and more of a watcher. That is fine too. They enjoy the play and story still. Yeah. Disagree, but that's your experience. Yeah, and we all have different experiences and different enjoyment from these things. The truth is that both systems are good at this point, and that's a good thing. One hill I will die on, is I keep hearing people say, "Oh, combat's not faster in Daggerheart. It's like the same." It is. It objectively is faster in Daggerheart. I will stand by that and fight people to the death over that. Not having an impact is a result and makes it more rewarding when you do have impact. Plus, you can be impactful without having to make a roll. Yes. By impactful, I mean I don't want it to ever feel like someone has like not been for a while, and then when they go, they don't do anything. So you just go again, I think, which is something you can't do in D&D. Sure, let's go. It's not faster having run both systems at high level. Okay, Jimmy, let's go. So, what have you played more of? D&D or Daggerheart in your lifetime? What are you more experienced in? Which do you think you could just run faster because you are more experienced? Because that's a big part of it. A lot of people I hear who are saying like, oh, Daggerheart's not faster. It's like their third or fourth session in Daggerheart, and they have been trying to speed up D&D combat for years. They have been like mastering that. It's not just the DM, it's the players as well. They're also way more experienced in a game. Who's got more experience? Do they have more experience in Daggerheart or D&D? It's going to be D&D. So they're going to be faster in D&D. So you've got to take that into account, right? So already, if they're the same, if you think Daggerheart and D&D is the same amount, because you are more experienced in D&D, it's actually more like Daggerheart is faster, right? You've run 100 sessions or so for Daggerheart. Oh, fair enough. Okay, that's a lot. But my experience is also that Daggerheart's faster. So the two kind of experiences cancel each other out. But we can look at some other facts. Critical Role. They have hundreds of hours of content out there of them playing D&D, and they have 50 hours of content out there of them playing Daggerheart. if you go in time, and I've done this, you can do it. If you go and time their combat in D&D and compare it to daggerheart, their daggerheart content is always faster. They average about 50 minutes for a combat in daggerheart, and they average about an hour and 20 minutes to an hour and 40 minutes of combat time in D&D. So it's faster for them, certainly. It's faster for me in my experience. I was looking that the reason why it's so much faster, looking at Critical Role, is because they're not doing initiative. So they skip that whole initiative section. And table crosstalk is way less. Like when people are like waiting for their turn in D&D, they're more likely to say something or have in-jokes or get distracted, and they're less likely in Daggerheart. So that's why I think that Daggerheart is faster, because of all that, really. All the Daggerheart combats are significantly lower level. Just wait. I compared it to like level 1 D&D. And it's also the experience level. Like, they're new to the game still. Like, even Matt came out after Age of Umber and was saying, like, he's, like, still learning this system. Like, he's coming in and out with the beta, and he's helped develop it, but experience actually running it, he doesn't have anywhere near the amount of experience he has running D&D, for example. Initiative takes, 30 seconds, a minute at the most? Yeah, let's say a minute. So that's a ding to Daggerheart, right? Because we rolled at a level. Yeah, it's just there. I don't know why you're so against that fact, that it's faster. It's also been designed to be faster. they went out their way to make it faster. So, 100 sessions of Daggerheart sauce. Well, now, guys, let's not go for that stuff. Let's just presume he's telling the truth. He's still incorrect from my experience. So all that's going to happen here is he's just going to have to say, well, in my experience, it's this, and we'll just have to disagree. But that's why I was saying I will die on this hill. But if someone came to me with, like, evidence of, like, actual plays that would, like, timing and trying, then we could see, we could have a better argument. But that's my evidence. Like, look at Critical Role. Look at how they're doing it. Time them. There's timestamps. You can literally go and see. I think I was looking, it was like, it takes about 2 minutes for a player to take a turn in D&D in Critical Role, and it takes them about 40 seconds to take a turn in Daggerheart, because it's just, the rule system is simpler. They're not discussing ranges, they're not discussing area of effects as much. Where D&D is faster. See, I'm not completely biased here. Where D&D is faster in combat is for the DM to take a turn. With Critical Role, Matt takes longer when the spotlight is on him than he does in D&D. It's probably an experience thing, but it's also probably the fact that he's dealing with spending fear, and he's dealing with... Or where it really slows down is when Matt hits a player, they are like, oh, I'm going to use an armor slot, or I'm going to step in front of this and take it for him. That's where it slows down, because the players can do more in that scenario, and it takes a while to do the resources. Yeah. But Matt was also explaining the rules to the players the whole time as well. Like, Daggerheart is just, I really believe it is just faster. It just is. But outside of combat, D&D is faster. I will also die on that hill. D&D is faster when it comes to just rolling to see if people succeed. It is faster to get through scenes, because in Daggerheart, there's like a 50-50 chance you'll roll with fear, and there's a complication, and the scene could last longer. So outside of combat, D&D is faster. I'm curious about Daggerheart. Is combat fun, or does it get bogged down by players deciding what they want to do? No. Very few people... I think anybody who's played it, most people have said that they've had no issue with people deciding what they want to do, or who goes first, and all that stuff. There's not really a problem after you've played it a few times. Whether is combat fun? Yes. Yes, it is. If you are someone who likes to have a character sheet with a ton of things in there, then you'll prefer D&D. I think there's like, if you like a more complicated action economy, you'll prefer D&D. And that's fair. But was one thing that has made me as a GM and my players love combat and light up every time they do it, and that is the tag team role. The tag team role is so much fun, and I just love it when my players use it. So I don't care about faster, I care about fun. Daggerheart doesn't sound like a system I enjoy, but I get why people do. Like, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Started an hour ago. What did I miss? Oh, not much. We've just been shooting the S. We talked about Jeremy Perkins and Christopher Perkins and Jeremy Crawford. Jeremy. For a little bit. Now we're just chatting. We're just having like a little healthy debate about D&D versus Daggerheart and which is better, which is faster, all that good stuff. After reading the Daggerheart rulebook, I felt like both it and D&D were more or less equivalently rulesy. After playing the system, I was so wrong. Daggerheart feels considerably less complex now. Yeah. The Daggerheart rulebook, I love it. It's a little bit all over the place in parts, though. You know, you've got to jump around it a little bit. Admittedly, that's been my complaint with a lot of books recently, so maybe it's just a me thing. But I feel like so many of these books could be organized in a way that is easier to learn when you're first coming into it. So it feels like most of them are designed to be like, oh, you read it all the way through and you learn where stuff is, and once you kind of get the hang of the book, you can like get through it really fast. And Daggerheart's like that, but there's some things that are like hidden that I'm not sure, that took me a while to get my head around with Daggerheart. It's definitely, the way I see it is that it's not rules light. Daggerheart is like still crunchy in parts, but nowhere near as much as D&D. You just have to look at anything to do with ranges or the descriptions on spells or falling damage rules. Like, all of it is streamlined to the point where there's way less interpretation. There's still a few things in there where I'm just I've made like my own rulings when I've been like, oh, it's either this or this. But overall, it's not rules light, but it's simple than other TTRPGs. Is there something in D&D where you can move knives with your mind? It depends what you mean. Like, is there a spell? I think there might be. You can certainly, like, what is it? Like, ice dagger? Where you can create one and throw an ice dagger. Cloud of blades. What's the D&D spell where you just leave some daggers flying around an area? One of D&D's problems is that the layout for books haven't changed since AD&D. Better is an opinion, and those are like buttholes. Everyone has their own. Yeah, I think when anyone says a system's better, if I say like, oh, Daggerheart's better than D&D, what I really mean is like, I think it's better for my table. So, Cloud of Daggers. Thank you, Sam. Yeah, Cloud of Daggers. Nailed it. Yeah, thanks, Jimmy. Thanks, Piker. 5th level telekinesis can definitely do the job. That's very true. Yeah. If you want crunchy, try Rollmaster. Best system ever. Ooh. I've not heard of that. Is a pre-written adventure available for Daggerheart, similar to D&D Beginner Box? Yeah, if you go to daggerheart.com, and go to resources, and go to downloads, and go to the bottom here, quick start adventure, right here. And this is set in Sablewood. So if you wanted more information on the location, you can download the location. Looks like this. It's even got like characters in here as well. So it's solid. If you just want to try it out, you can throw this here. Let me get to the actual adventure itself, because it's such a cool thing. Yeah, it's got game master information. It's got stuff for teaching the game, to help you teach the game to your players. It's got a narrative overview, which I really like. So it's 5 acts that you can go through. And then, yeah, it just throws you into it. The actual adventure itself, starting from like here, starts at page 29 and ends at 36. So it's only what is that? 7 pages long. So it's not even that chunky. But yeah, I recommend. There are several yes, Bob Willbuilder has a really good first level adventure as well, which is worth checking out. I think you can get it on his Patreon or on DriveThruRPG. I think I'm also going to write my own Daggerheart first level adventure to come out in the next few months. Not a big thing. I kind of want to make a video out of it as well. So we'll see. I don't know if people will be interested in getting that. Recommend a quick start for the first time DM GM2. Currently running Ghosts of Saltmarsh. What I don't like is the power creep of the players who are using 2024 D&D rules for their characters. Yeah, are you finding that the 2024 characters are way more powerful than the 2014 ones? Kickstarter. No, I wouldn't do Kickstarter. It would be a DriveThruRPG thing, I think. Though the idea of making a Kickstarter book and earning $1 million would be nice. Obviously. Reminds me, I do have to prep my next Daggerheart session. We play on Fridays. Which is tomorrow. So that will be my job tonight, I think. One thing I also noticed for me is that prepping Daggerheart is easier than prepping D&D. I've gone for the most vanilla basic setting there is. with the Wither Wild campaign, which I'm enjoying. I did away with the because the Wither Wild campaign has 7-day-long nights and 7-day-long days. I did away with that. We're on a normal night-day cycle because that is a fun idea, but I was just like, I'm going to forget about that almost immediately, and I don't want to be tracking that stuff, so... Oh, you're doing a motherboard campaign? Oh, that is ambitious. I got a lot of respect for that. Yeah, motherboard and the Colossus one scare me. They intimidate me. But they look fun as hell. You know, it'd be a cool video if you could do a pros and cons comparing D&D and daggerheart. I tried looking for videos like that on YouTube, but couldn't find it. Yeah, maybe. I kind of want to make videos that are... Maybe I could make it a stream where I like get everything in order beforehand and stream that and turn that into a video on the second channel. I want to start only putting really high quality videos on my main channel. We'll see how long that lasts, but I mean like a video every month where I really like dig into a subject. I don't like feeling like I'm on like a treadmill of making content there where I'm just kind of pumping stuff out for the sake of it. So I really want to like make videos I'm passionate about. Okay, now I'm feeling... Now my room's getting hot, but at least my camera's not dying on me. You guys seen this video, by the way? Your D&D party is too big. From Mr. Green himself. What did I do? Please don't make hateful clickbait content like other channels have turned to. Okay, so Jimmy, I'm going to... Any really clickbaity stuff I'm doing, I'm going to do it on a second channel.
I'd say I'm a bit of a TTRPG fan. For those of you who don't know what that is, tabletop role-playing game. You might have indeed watched me play them on the internet, like Titan's Grave or Mentopolis, and maybe that helped inspire you to get a group of friends together and dive into your own adventure. I mean, it's okay if your inspiration was Stranger Things or Baldur's Gate 3. I'm not disappointed, that's fine. Whether you're playing Dungeons and Dragons or one of the other gajillion games out there, there's a good chance your campaign failed miserably. And no, you didn't mess up by having a party made entirely of...
So this is a really good video idea from Hank Green, which is targeting people's insecurities about their D&D game not finishing or not actually starting, which is a big issue. And he's targeting, in particular, scheduling.
Chaotic neutral rogues. You messed up by having too many people in that party because all those people can't find a time when everyone can gather. It's the same.
And he's talking about there being too many people in a party and how that means, like, the more people in your party means the less likely your game is going to succeed. The reason why we're watching this video is because it's interesting, because he backs this up with science, but I also think he's wrong. I disagree with Hank Green here.
Problem, you may have had when trying to schedule a work meeting with a bunch of people or picking a restaurant that appeals to everyone. Once your group gets to a certain size, good luck. But that's not just life experience talking here. Scientists have done the math, and they have identified the exact number of people that will probably sink your D&D campaign, and also everything else you're trying to plan. So this whole thing actually got started when a trio of physicists got fed up with all of the scheduling polls.
5 players is your max. I've never played with more than 6, but I would like to try 7 or even 8. I would like to try it. I think it would be a lot, but I think it would be fun as hell.
They were filling out, and they decided to calculate how likely it was that those polls would fail. and there'd be no time that everyone could meet. Scheduling a meeting is perfectly suited to a branch of mathematics called combinatorics, which deals with counting. And your odds of getting that meeting scheduled successfully depend on 3 things: the number of people in your group, the number of
players,
time slots they have available to choose from,
when people
and
can
the
play,
number of those available time slots that each person rejects. To make the
People saying no.
calculations easier, this research team assumed that each person rejects the same number of time slots, and all time slots are equally likely to be rejected. No wiffle-waffling either. You have to give either...
Biggest group we've DM'd was 12. That is not fun at all. 5 is your current max. 12 is crazy. 12 is... that's two tables. That you could, like, split the table in 2, and they can just, like, choose a DM out of their 6, and then you can play 2 games.
A yes or a no to each option. And here is the equation they derived, which calculates the probability that none of the...
We all understand this, right? We're all aware what everything is saying. Pi 0.
The times will work for literally everyone in the group. But you don't need to call up the nearest knowledge cleric or beseech the god Akma to explain it to you. I have got an example ready to go. Let's plan a hypothetical Dungeons and Dragons campaign. We will be meeting once a week for a few hours. And no, I will not be DMing. That's too much responsibility, and it's Brennan's job. This is my hypothetical, so he's on board for this too. The official Dungeon Master's Guide recommends that in addition to the DM, you have a party of 3 to 5 adventurers.
Yeah,
so
35.
Let's recruit 3 more of my friends, and we'll plug in a 5 wherever this equation has the letter M. Now let's pick a number to use for that cursive L there, the total blocks of time we have to choose from.
It's an L?
Now let's pretend we're not just playing in a fantasy world, but living in one, because none of us work over the weekend. So Saturdays and Sundays each have 3 possible blocks: morning, afternoon, and evening. And then there are weekdays. Since this campaign is just going to be for fun, we can't meet during the workday. Let's also say that all of us work standard 9-to-5 jobs and none of us take our work home with us. Again, a fantasy world. And it is a truth universally acknowledged that no one wants to go anywhere on a Monday evening. That gives us 4 more blocks and 10 total.
Let's buy
so
that.
The cursive L in our fancy equation becomes a 10. That just leaves the R,
What's up, Armory?
the number of potential meeting times each person rejects. Now, depending on what R is, we might be guaranteed to find a time that works for everyone. That will happen when the size of the group multiplied by the number of rejections is less than the total number of time slots under consideration. So in my hypothetical,
Costs of
if each
mathematical
person
letters.
only rejects 1 time slot, there will be a time that works for everyone. But as soon as each person rejects 2 time slots, it becomes possible that our D&D campaign will fail before it even starts. And by possible, I mean that we'd have a 0.061% chance of not finding a time that everyone can agree on. But obviously that rejection rate is a tad optimistic. We have families and stuff. So what happens if each of us is already booked for half of the 10 possible meeting times? If you do the math, we have a whopping 71% chance of failure.
People be doing way too much in their week. I don't like doing anything during my week. I'm like, if I've got to play D&D or Daggerheart one night in a week, I don't want to be doing anything any other night. Maybe one other night I'll go to the cinema or out for drinks. But that's it. I need to keep my schedule wide open to just do nothing.
And that chance of failure changes a lot with each person you add or remove from the group. For example, if we only have 4 people to deal with, we'd have just better than a 50-50 chance of finding a time everyone can attend. But if we have the maximum recommended party size, that percent drops to 15. Meanwhile, if those 6 people are just a bit pickier, rejecting just 1 more time slot, we only have a 4% chance of succeeding. And that's just for scheduling 1 session, and it's not even considering the fact that I want my campaign to be weekly. So really, it's no wonder that many TTRPG adventures fall apart, even with so few people involved. But fortunately...
So, I watched this a while ago. It came out a while ago, and I remember watching it thinking, this is very interesting. And I understand the theory behind it. But with my, like, D&D tuber brain, I was like, we're approaching this wrong. Because one, if you have a group of people and you want to play D&D with them, you would think that they want to play D&D. So that's already very different to arranging a work meeting, because no one wants to go to the work meeting. So the chances of them saying no to a work meeting, way higher than them saying no to D&D. And if you have players who often say no to D&D, maybe they don't care about D&D that much, and you can kind of try and find new players. Maybe that's too harsh to say, but that's a small thing. The biggest problem with this is the idea that if one person cannot make the D&D game, that you cancel it, or that you don't arrange it for that time. And that is also a big no-no to me. I think even the D&D new DMG says this as well. You should set a time and date yourself as a DM. You should say, hey, I'm going to be playing D&D on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock. Do you want to come? And like that is set in stone. Maybe you have like a backup or 2 backup nights. Like if some people can't do Thursdays, maybe say we could do Wednesdays or Tuesdays, but you're going to set that in stone. And then you're going to say, if less than 4 people come. So if everyone cancels and we're only going to have a table of 3 people, that in fact 3, let's go with 2. If you have less than 3 people, if everyone cancels and you're only going to have a table of 2 people that night, then you can cancel the session. But if you have 3 people or more, you do the session no matter what. And when I watched this, the first time, it grinded my gears a little bit in the most passive way, because it's called, your D&D party is too big. And the premise is that if you want a successful D&D game, you need a smaller party. But in reality, it's the other way around. If you want a successful D&D game, you need as big a party as possible, so that if you have a table of 8 people and they're really flaky, so 3 people cancel every single week, you can still play. That's how you keep a game going long term, in my humble opinion. And I think a lot of scheduling issues come from that, because people aren't willing to put their foot down and say, okay, we'll play without you. You know, I think just having that we're going to play without you that you talk about at the session 0 will do wonders. And the best thing about 5 people is when adult situations come up, like, hey, I need to drop someone at the airport or see the in-laws or whatever, you still have a decent quorum to have fun. Yes, that's exactly what it is. The more people, the better. 100%. It's hard to get it started. And I think that's maybe where this video does come in play. It is hard to, like, if you have 5 people and you want to choose, like, a day and time for it, and everyone's, like, throwing stuff out there, then it can become difficult. But if you're the GM and you're just like, this is how we're doing things, things get way easier. Way, way easier. It's bonus Pedro. What's up, Maurice? You also have another group of 2 players, but one has his own company, so very little amount of time. Once a month, maybe 2 months. But still the campaign went fast because the group was so little. Yeah. Yeah, my biggest, like, hack when you're starting a new game and you're trying to get people on board and schedule a time is to put a limit on how long you're playing for. So you say, I'm going to play for 4 weeks. It's just going to be 4 weeks. We're going to do a 4-week Daggerheart campaign. And then we'll see how we feel when we're done. People are way, way more likely to agree to 4 weeks than they are to agree to, like, oh, I'm starting a new campaign. I don't know how long it'll last, but we'll see. So always put, like, a cap of, like, 6 weeks, 5 weeks on there. People will say yes. And I've found that the people who are the ones who are like, oh, I can only do 5 weeks. Those people are usually the ones who want to keep playing at the end of it. They're like, oh, let's keep going or whatever. It really helps with, like, starting a new campaign. let's finish this video real quick, because he might go on and say all that stuff.
For anyone who organizes even larger groups, the numbers do change a lot based on the total number of possible time slots and how picky people are. Like maybe you've set aside your dream of a years-long D&D campaign with your friends and just need to schedule a 1-hour work meeting sometime between 9 and 5 o'clock. If everyone is already booked for half of those 40-hour-long slots, your odds are pretty good of getting 5 people in a room, while 6 is a coin flip. But if your coworkers only have prior commitments for just 10 hours per week, then you could probably swing a 14-person meeting without pulling your hair out. Of course, you can also increase your...
No, the AC is not on right now, and it is quite hot in here, but it's not hot enough to overheat the camera, I don't think. But I am starting to sweat. The AC is too loud. I can't think with it on. So as soon as I'm done with the stream, I'll turn it back on. But yeah, it's just not as hot today. It's 27 degrees. The other times when I tried to film and the camera overheated, it was like 30 or 31 degrees. It's too much. Too much for little old me. I'm just a white British man.
Odds of success by redefining success. Like maybe it's okay if one person can't meet at the only time that everyone else can meet. If you're trying to schedule a weekly D&D get-together and only one person can't do, say...
Noise cancelling headsets, my dude. But I like to have some tone coming through so I can hear myself talk when I'm talking to you guys. It's a weird thing. Like I can press a button on this and it shuts out everything, and I can hear myself through the mic, but there's like a tiny delay. It's really weird. So if I turn it on so that it's called side tone, I think, where I can kind of hear the headset mic here, it makes things way easier for me.
Wednesday evening because every 3 weeks they've got a writers group. Maybe you could just not have them there, and you can just go ahead and create like an in-universe explanation for why their adventurer disappears every once in a while. Or maybe instead of diving right into a campaign that'll take you years to complete, you test the waters with different adventures that can each be completed in a single session.
You hit the nail on the head there. It's like, if people can't make it, just write their character out for that session, or you use their character, or have someone else run their character. My favorite thing that I've started doing is if a player can't make it, I have their character there, but they're just very quiet. Maybe they've got a headache or something, so they're not talking that much. It's not really a big problem until combat happens. Then players are like, oh, where's our barbarian? Can they help? And the way I get around that is I say the barbarian's like having their own fight with something else. It's having a one-on-one. You can see them fighting, but they're kind of like, it's cinematic. You guys are all in this fight, and he's just like tussling with someone over there. So he can't help you right now. The only real time it really comes up as an issue is if a player isn't there and their character is in the background, not helping or doing anything, and something comes up where that character's expertise would be perfect. You know, like if they're a nobleman and the party is talking to another nobleman and they would like that person to do the talking. And I've not done this before. I might be wrong, but in my mind, the best way around that, or a good way around it, is like mechanically you say, yeah, he helps, so you get advantage with your roll. Like, I think that would be a good way. Yeah, you just get advantage because he's helping, and that way the player's still rolling and doing their thing. The other character's kind of helping them. I think that's the good way to do stuff.
Or maybe you and your friends can really live the dream and figure out a way to turn playing TTRPGs into a job. Don't ask me to join, though. I am too busy.
Yeah. But it's an interesting video. It's a very interesting video. But I looked at this and I was like, this is better. It's not that your D&D party is too big. Your D&D party is too small. Get more people. That will fix all your scheduling issues. 21 outside, apparently. Oh, man. Yeah, it's 27 here. My issue is that I have two big lights on that are, like, heating up the room. Here, let me turn the AC on. You can tell me how annoying it is, if you can hear it at all. Like, can you hear that at all? I'm looking at my audio coming through the mic, and it's pumping out like a solid 35 decibels at all times. Can hear it? Is it annoying? What about if I play music to like overpower it? You can hear it, but it's far from annoying. Okay, well, I'll leave that on. It's very annoying for me. I'm already talking louder to get over it. You can't hear me over your own fans right now? Yeah, I never even took that into consideration. Engineer, that's a good name. Not annoying? Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Adjust my gain. I am not touching this mic. The settings on this mic, audio engineering is magic to me. I don't understand it. I've got my mic sounding okay, and I never want to mess around with it. It's like white noise to help you sleep. So, out of curiosity, everyone in here, got 6 people on Twitch, 26 people on YouTube. Are you guys playing, like, are you guys in a game right now? And is that game D&D, or is it Daggerheart, or is it another game system? Just put your headphones on noise cancelling. Nah, I like to hear my own voice and the room. And lighting is his thing. Look at the no lighting. I'm bad at lighting as well. I need to buy better lights. I have 2 lights here that are just desk lamps. That if I turn it off, it actually doesn't look that bad. It is pretty dark now, but they stay on my desk. They're hard to move around. So I want like portable lights so that when I film in other rooms or, God forbid, go on location, which I've never done for a YouTube video before, I need to buy some. What am I good at? I'm kind of an all-rounder, I think, like a lot of YouTubers. But my background is in editing mostly. Like, I worked in TV broadcast and movies and TV shows for like 10 years, doing a bunch of stuff. And before that, I did go to university doing film and TV production. So I should be better at all this stuff than I am. My issue is mostly laziness, to be honest. BBC. But I worked at ITV. I worked at ITV in Leeds in their play-out control room, which wasn't really... It was more broadcast technical side of things. It doesn't help with this. I guess it helps with live streaming, because that was more what I was doing. I was running like live TV there, and that was great. And then I worked in the VFX industry for like 5 years before kind of doing this full time. Better than Channel 4 any event, yeah. Wait, what channels did I do? Because it was weird. It was like, I was in the ITV building, but technically it was like any channel could rent it out. So I think I did have some BBC channels at one point, which is so funny because you're like working at ITV, playing out BBC channels. I definitely had some Channel 4 stuff. And then what was it? I had CITV, kids channels as well. That was a good job. I watched TV for a living. So I detuned TVs as well. No, my job was to watch TV and make sure to help get the playlist together. make sure all the advertisements and commercials were correct and ran the correct time, and then make sure that like there were subtitles and audio description and all that stuff. If you've ever been watching TV, not that people watch TV much anymore, let me turn that off. If you've ever watched TV and you've seen like a weird like cut, like you're watching a movie and it goes to the ad break in a really weird point, or a commercial's not finished yet and it suddenly starts the show again, that would be me messing up. That'd be me not doing my job properly. But I also do live stuff sometimes as well, like live football and stuff, which is very stressful. Or like morning shows where it's all live and I have to listen into a studio that's probably in London. And I was up in the north and they would be like, we're going to take break in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And then I have to press a button to take the break, but there is a delay from London to where I was of half a frame. So I have to press it like half a frame early, half a second early. Like 12 frames early. So it was like the most stressful button press I've ever had to do. It was fun though. You think you're gonna do a session for your wife and her friends using Quest TTRPG? Ooh, that sounds fun. Oh, cool. So you're a professional editor. Anything we should know? I think I don't deserve this, but I think I'm a VFX editor in the credits of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and John Wick 4 were the last movies that I have credits in before I left that job. I left that job before I got laid off because of the writer strikes and stuff. Yeah, that industry is like, I kind of want to go back into it, but AI is very scary there. You know, when you have a job and you're like, AI could do this job very easily. There's no, like, my job was just like dealing with time codes and numbers and lining things up. And it's just like, AI could do this. AI could do this for sure. Well, almost, dude, I love Red Dwarf. You work in IT, mate. But yeah, oh man, you turn the AC off and you can feel that difference. Hold on. Sorry, I didn't see your stuff, Armory. You want to run more Daggerheart, but there is more D&D interest. Yeah. You kind of have to still... I don't know where you guys fall on that. Like, in my mind, it's like whatever the players want to play, as long as you don't hate running a system. Like, don't do anything you don't want to do, but, like, the players kind of win. In my mind. I found at my current table, I think... I mean, I've not done a big poll, but my current table... 2 people, I think, prefer Daggerheart. They want to play Daggerheart. 2 people don't mind, and then 1 person wants to play D&D over Daggerheart. So it's kind of like, it's close. It is close. Daggerheart is winning, but I think one of the people who doesn't mind would like to play both systems almost, like jump between them, which may be what we end up doing. Like, there's a world where I run Daggerheart long term, go all the way to level 10, like do it for like 6 months, and then occasionally run D&D one shots in between or as breaks. Had a lot of TPK in Dagger. Have I? No. We've not even done a death move yet, but it's still early days. My guys are only level 2. But I think it's very hard to TPK unless you're like unless your players are down for it, because they can just all go unconscious. Something ideal group for 2 campaigns parallel. Yeah, it's just that's so much work for me in my mind. Planning 2 campaigns is like too much work. You want to move on to daggerheart? To be honest, I think it's perfect for modern experience people. For the modern experience people have based on what they see online. Yeah, it's definitely really does depend what enjoyment people get out of these games. Like, if they're approaching it from more of a like video game or like war game point of view, where it's like, I want to like make a character that hits hard, and I want to have a challenge, and I want to, you know, run combat and fight monsters, and I want to level up, and I want to be like good at the game, then I think D&D is definitely better for that. But if the fun you get out of the game is like, I want to role play and creatively like create a world and tell a story with my friends, then Daggerheart is definitely the best for that. Bi-weekly sessions, use a module for D&D, saves a lot of time. Yeah, true. Yeah, the creativity in roleplay is exceptional. Yeah, and just like, I just like how so much of the abilities in Daggerheart promote working together, you know? It's like, so many abilities are there to work in tandem with the other players around the table. Is this playing? Is music playing? Can you guys hear music? Right now? Question mark? Because I can't. Yes, very low. Oops. Wait, what did I do? Why can you hear it, but I can't? I can see the... This is what I mean about not being good at audio. Hold on. I actually don't know what I did. I don't want to mess with it. I've got like a system in place that the audio goes to the stream, but not to the VOD. So like, I'm recording this separately. And I think I've put my headset to be like the VOD. Thank you for the thanks for the follow, Guan Asluan. Cheers for that. Old people can't. Okay, Rogue. Okay, Rogue. My hearing's perfect. It's not. I actually do have a hearing aid. So you're making fun of someone who is hearing impaired. So I hope you feel good about that, Rogue. You're 37, you think? Dude, it gets hard to keep track. It really does. Like, I have to I should tattoo my my age on my arm and then just get it changed every year. I have to do math. Yeah, it also doesn't matter anymore. You're just like past your prime. Dude, my little bro has had a hearing aid since he was 8. What an old 8-year-old. Nah, old after 40 anyway. This is what I do. I think I'm gonna get... okay, I can't hear the music anymore, but you guys tell me if it is too loud or too quiet, I guess. Can I hear... YouTube?
Beyond the campaigns you're working on is...
Yeah. I can. Thank you for the follow, iEngineer. Huge. Guys, I'm at 919 followers on Twitch. So, 920 followers on Twitch. If you're over on YouTube right now and you don't follow me over here, it would mean a world to me if you popped over to Twitch, said hi, and followed. But no worries if not. Also, like the YouTube video if you're watching YouTube. iEngineer, thank you for the subscription with Prime. Thank you very much. Link, please. It should be in the description. Let me know if it's not though. Elvathor, thank you for the follow. Huge. I'd love to get to 1,000 followers on Twitch. It is cool. 4 days until you renew your Prime sub. Ooh, Rogue. Should I just stay live until then? Should I just like make a YouTube video called I went live until one of my viewers renewed his Prime sub? Exclamation mark bonus pedo action is not the thing. Thank you, Silver Gibbon for the follow. Thank you, Gelato Potato Tomato for the follow. Good name, solid name. Yep. We should have a competition about who's got the best name. That's up there though. You say gelato, I say gelato. All right. Maurice, thank you for the follow. Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Yeah, Twitch is doing... no worries, ChatGPT. Twitch be doing its own thing. Probably cookie related, yeah. Goddamn cookies. You guys seen this dice here? I am so crazy excited. In fact, let's see what like dice appear in Daggerheart. As soon as they release new Daggerheart dice, I am going to eat them up. When to expect the official dice to release? The biggest dagger. I'm not saying so. No one knows. No one knows. But yeah, they've got like dice coming from Botch, Misty Mountain, and Dispel. Real Mac Tasman, thank you for the follow. I can't believe people are coming through. Genuinely, thank you. Turns out all I have to do is ask. Also, guys, if anyone wants to give me their Twitch Prime sub, you can do that too. But yeah, I have this set of dice, which is the Daggerheart limited edition ones. They're so nice, and I'm so bummed that I don't get to use them as a GM. I wish they gave me like a weird shaped D20 as the GM. But they're really nice, and I wonder if I'll ever get to play Daggerheart. I wonder if I'm truly a forever GM with Daggerheart. Hawk the Hunter, thank you for the subscription with Prime. I appreciate that a lot. Give me that Amazon money. That's straight out of Jeff Bezos' bank account. So, but no, thank you, Hawk. So where's the dice GoFundMe? What, like that I'm creating? I'm gonna prefer YouTube, but sure, no one had my Prime thing yet, so well, thank you. I'm not gonna log into the next live stream. Phil will reach 1,000 on Twitch and complain I wasn't here for it. Where were you, Rogue? Making 80 new accounts. No, I do not want to get. Don't bot me. Don't bot me. But I do have. Well, you guys are being so cool. Where is it? This is my second channel. Check it out. Check out this boom when I started posting these streams as videos. I went from 627 subscribers, which I was stuck at for a very, very long time. and now I'm at 825. So I can't wait. I might do a stream where we watch this tick over to 1,000 and I get monetized, but it's probably gonna take a few more days before I do it. But yeah, I'm very proud of that. Thank you anyone who has subscribed to my bonus re-reaction channel. I finished my only bonus action, yeah. Unfiltered Reaction is a really good channel name, actually. Yes, I have a bonus re-reaction channel. You know Rihanna? Well, look, I didn't know what to call it. I panicked. But Unfiltered is pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie. Let's get Phil a guest spot on CR. Hog the Hunter, thank you for the follow. Wait, did you subscribe to me before you followed me? That's a power move. I didn't even know you could do that. Bonus reaction. Yeah, I had no idea you could do that. There you go, we live and learn. Alright. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Anything you guys want to talk about? Or shall we end the stream early? Let me check my old notaroonies. We did that. Early, he says, when it's creeping near midnight for us to actually pull. Yeah, I want to be doing the longest streams in general. It's just getting too hot in here. I think this has only been running for like, what, 2 hours? 2 hours and 23 minutes. It's a short. In the streaming space, it's short. You're also a Forever DM. We need to support one another. We do. Forever DMs, unite. Between the sheets? Oh, like the Critical Role show where they're interviewing each other? Total Sheet Show would be a segment. Yeah, that's not bad, actually. Oh, I see. You think Total Sheet Show should be the name of the channel? Forever DMs should just abandon their parties and DM for each other. That's true. That is true. Like, have you really thought about that? Like, we don't need players, right? It's kind of like when when people are just like, women don't need men. Like, if they figure out, if they can just have kids, they don't need us. As DMs, we don't need the players. So we get rid of them. They need us. They can't do anything. They can't play the game without us, but we have each other. Yeah. Those ungrateful son of a bees. Maybe it's time we put them in their place, Rogue. Maybe we rise up. Maybe that's what my channel should be. Overthrow this playerarchy system that we have, where players think they can come in and push us around, and be in charge. We have all the power. The plebs need help. A GM without player is just writing a book. No, not if the GMs come together and take turns GMing. A party of DMs is a nightmare. I guess I've never done it before. I think in my mind, it would either go really, really well or really, really bad. And the snacks, yes. The snacks would be incredible. You do it on a regular, it's good fun. Yeah, I think a full DM table, like they're players, you know, for that night, except one of them steps up. You could also do the weird stuff, like where you switch GMs halfway through, just randomly. You just give your scenario that you're building towards to another GM, and they just have to improvise with it. Part of GMs where you roll for control. Yeah, I wonder if you got a party of GMs, do you think they'd all want to GM, or do you think that it'd be finally their chance to play, so no one would want to do it? Roll a dice for which one will take over. Then whoever gets the lowest has to leave the table. They have to just exit the room and go home. And then you just do that until no one's left. And the winner gets $100,000. Guys, if someone sponsored me for $100,000, I would make the best D&D actual play you've ever seen, because the players would be competing for money. And it would be exceptional. I think the D&D space really needs to be Mr. Beastified. You know, I think we need more Beast. We need players competing for money, betraying each other. I think it's the future. I think it would do well. So, start playing. Hit me up. Just $100,000 is a prize pool. You're the weakest link. I don't know what you would call it. You would call it like oh man, there's a good game show name for a D&D actual play. And I'm being serious, by the way. I'm not memeing. I think it would be really good. It would work like this, right? I would GM, and I would try and be as fair and unbiased as possible, because that's where the issue comes in. Like, if I have favorites as GM, then it could go horribly wrong. I'm going to be as unbiased, but I'm going to be as biased as possible. I'm going to be as unbiased as possible. 6 players, right? If they make it to the end of this incredibly challenging dungeon, they get to share $100,000 between them. Or let's start small. $10,000 gets shared between them. So if they let's start smaller. Let's start way smaller for maths purposes. 6 players, $6,000 gets shared between them. So if they all make it to the end, they all get $1,000. However, if one of them dies, then they leave the table and they get nothing, and the remaining players get more money. They get a bigger piece of the pie. And there'll be a lot of rooms where they have a chance to betray each other and push each other out, kill each other. And the final room, maybe only 2 people make it to the end. And these 2 people, the 2 players, are both looking at $6,000, and they could just fight each other if they want to. They can either walk away with $3,000 each, or they can fight to the death for it. I think it would be so entertaining. And then you do the cutaways, like reality TV shows, where it's like the interview shots, where the guy is like, I betray him, and then it cuts away to the person being betrayed, and he's like, why would he do that to me? I don't understand, we were friends. And it'd just be the most entertaining thing. So, hit me up. Critical Role. Give me some money so I can make this insane show. The bonus Pedro action. It would be a terrible name for that show, Maurice. Someone clip that. Phil is going to be biased. That is the downside. The DM has to be, like, fair. And you can get around that by having a lot of the systems in the game being pure mechanical, you know? And then maybe if there's ever a moment where a player is just like, would this be possible? And it's kind of like a blurry line. You have like a second person there who is like a judge almost that can overrule the GM or that has to work with the GM for those hard decisions. But how much money? Like, this genuine question. Like, how much money would have to be the prize fund for you guys as viewers to care? Because if I click on a video that is like, 6 friends play this game to win $100, that's not cutting it for me. I don't care. There's not enough money in there. $1,000? Yeah. $10,000? Now we're talking. $10,000 can be like life-changing, and that's some good money. $100,000, I'm watching that. I'm watching a D&D table kill each other for $100,000 for sure. Well, I'm definitely playing a bear totem barbarian. Oh, that's also true. Do they get to create their characters? Yeah, they would. They'd get to create their characters. That makes it even more enticing. 'Cause it's like Robot Wars. It's like they're building a robot and they're putting a flamethrower on there, and they don't necessarily know if it's going to be useful, but they're just building the best robot they possibly can for all situations. Death Moves is a very good name. I like that. ChatGPT overrule me. It's got to be at least 4 figures, right? I think it's got to be at least 5 figures. Wait, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. Yeah, $10,000. It's got to at least be 10K. Yeah, well, I wonder if everyone would choose the exact same class. No one's going to go... The thing is, if everyone chooses characters that are just like beasts in combat with the intention of betraying their friends and like just surviving, then you wouldn't have any clerics, you wouldn't have any rogues, you wouldn't have anyone who is like useful. So you've kind of got to say like, you won't get through the dungeon. With like, the dungeon is hard, you have to work together, and you have to have a good team of magic users and martial users. So then people are like, crap, so we need a good well-rounded team, otherwise no one survives. But then if someone betrays us, like, oh man, what a show. Characters all completely pulled from the player's handbook though. Yeah, no homebrew. No homebrew. You think money is less attractive than a quirky gimmick? Like what? Like a holiday? Whoever wins this gets to go to the Caribbean. Yes, yeah, you would get commentators for sure. Like get like 2 funny people who are just commentating over what the players are choosing to do. Oh, the show is so good. And at some point in the game, it's not just like at some point in the game, they can just choose to vote a player out. You know, it's like a part of it is like, you can get rid of your weakest player right now if you want to. And then it's like, oh. That's why I'll be a ranger. When the BBEG is looking bad, I use my multi-attack to finish off anyone else still standing. I think there's a world where going wizard with fireball could be really good. Like, the idea of, like, I throw fireball, and the DM's like, the room is really small, and all your allies are in range. And the wizard's like, did I stutter? I throw fireball. Just kill everyone. Aurora Zero, what is up? You just got a notification now? 2 hours later? But welcome in. We're just developing the best D&D related reality TV show that ever existed. What's up, Silence? Nah, that takes it too close to Big Brother. Okay, we put the D&D players in a house, cameras everywhere, and they play non-stop for a week. They can sleep away from the table, and everything else they've got to be at that table. And quite simply, the first player or the last player standing wins, because other people will just be like quitting. It would be the equivalent of like putting your hands on a Lamborghini, and the last person to take their hands off gets the car. No, that's meme. That's a meme. I do think the other thing, I think just playing for 100k is a good idea though. I did not ask how big the room was. I said I cast Fireball. Exactly. You get to kill the BBEG and all the other players in one fell swoop and just walk away with 100k. But also there'll be allegiances happening. There'll be people being like, me and you be the last two standing. We both get 50k. We just have to figure out how to kill the other people. So you'd have to have moments where they can leave the table and go into other rooms and make plans together. On camera, of course. Commentators like the movie Dodgeball, exactly. In terms of a reward, just for example, you know the Dropout guys? In a previous series, they competed for a billboard. A player can put whatever they want on if they win. That's fun. That is fun, yeah. There's nothing makes people more cutthroat than money, though. You know? This has to be D&D in a castle. Yes, you go to a castle. Cameras everywhere. You can't leave. We'll get like a psychologist on set to just like make sure that they're as uncomfortable as possible so they're more spicy. Like in reality TV shows, they like make it so they don't get much sleep on purpose because they're more likely to like get into arguments and fight. That's what we need. We want this to be as unhinged as possible. And the DM would be me, but I would wear one of those masks from Squid Game. How does D&D prep and Daggerheart prep differ? Daggerheart has more like... So Daggerheart has these stat blocks for environments, like they have stat blocks for enemies. And those environments can be kind of shuffled in, and you can improvise it way better. It's kind of built to be improvised way more. So, and also because Daggerheart can like take weird like whiplash turns. If the players keep rolling with fear, the story has to go in a different direction. In Daggerheart, it's just not smart to prep things too much because things won't go to plan. I'd say even more than D&D. So Daggerheart's just a bit more improvisational, so the prep time is like faster. It's more about building out those resources. Day 6 in the D&D house, in the D&D castle. Like you said, Thunderdome's a solid name for it. Your wife watches the Filipino Big Brother show. Is she Filipino, Rogue? Level 9 fireball, baby. Twin that sucker. Maurice Danceny, super chat, €4. Thank you. Send money, this man needs a vest. You mean a vest like Matthew Mercer? Or like a bulletproof vest because people are going to be gunning for me? The pot builds based on the gold the character's find. That's also very good. Yeah. It starts off at 0 and the players can bank money. That's very good. This is a show. Yeah. They bank money over time. They watch that pot get higher and higher, all while just looking at the back of their friends' player characters so they can stab them in it. I don't know why I struggled so much with that. Imagine killing what you think is the BBEG, then the teams take each other out, and the real BBEG shows up. Yeah. 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 I think if we're being serious about this, the hardest part of this is to make a D&D session as fair as possible. Because D&D is notoriously not fair. Like, you have a DM there who is just deciding what happens and outcomes. So you need to make it as mechanically strong as possible. Very black and white. Like, do you succeed? Do you not succeed? Do you hit that? Do you not hit that? I think on the screen, like, the viewers should always know the information of any monsters they're playing or what a DC is. They should always know all that stuff. Because even on player versus player stuff, it's still, the DM still has a lot of control and power. Will the D100 have crazy chaos opportunities? Yeah. What's the biggest? The biggest issue would be if the players die too early, right? So you need to make sure that the players get to the end. You need to like balance it so there'll be like key points where people could die throughout, and then a big moment near the end where the players can really like all die or potentially kill each other. You could also have, how amazing would it be if one player sacrificed themselves for someone else? That's what we need. We need sob stories. Every player needs a sob story like no tomorrow. We want tears. We want them to really want to win. And then another player could sacrifice themselves, get themselves out the game so that player B gets the prize money. Oh, what a show. What a show. Oh, just get Amazon on this. They do the beast thing now. Yeah, I'll just call up Amazon. Yeah, and pitch this towards them. Need an immunity idol too. That's very good. Yeah, keep the ideas coming, guys. They won't kill each other over a small building pot, and then the pot. Hold on. Then the plot twist comes later that dead players don't collect anything. I do like the idea that like all the dead players, like if there's 6 players and 3 of them die early on, then those 3 players go into a separate room, play another little D&D game as ghosts, and the winner of that comes back to life. Like the wild card. All these reality shows need a wild card. So what's the wild card here? I think, yeah, like a new player comes out, and it's like Matthew Mercer or Brennan Lee Mulligan. Or one of the players has a different goal, and their goal is if they sabotage everyone so that they don't make it to the end without the other players realizing that they are the sabotager, then the sabotager gets the money instead. There's a lot we can do. There's a lot we can do. Every player needs an alternate win scenario where if you are the cleric, you get $1,000 if you save someone's life. That's true. Yeah. Playing the game well using the class that you've chosen increases the money in the pot. That's good. Or a player switches and becomes an antagonist. Yeah, one guy's evil. What about a D&D session? Each player has been given a unique instruction. For example, you have to work in song lyrics in your roleplay every few minutes. If the other player guesses your instructions, you're out. That's a different game, though. That is fun now. I could swear this channel was called Bonus Action. Must be my imagination. Yeah, that's the Mandela effect for you. Always been bonus reaction. Don't look at my email. I love how much this is getting fleshed out. Dude, this is I'm making this a full video, and I'm shopping it around. It's a good idea, and I'm putting this out there now so that if anyone steals it, there was a hold on, D&D reality. There was a D&D show. There was like a fuck. What? How do I find this?
Welcome back.
Sorry, I'm deep in YouTube now. Yeah, it's reaction now. I changed my name. It's forever different. Alright, MC, catch you later. Bonus reaction. I know it exists. There was like a YouTube channel that tried to run a D&D reality show that was like people voted people out, I think. I just don't know. I just don't know what it was called. And it's such a shame. Come on. Think. There's too much D&D content in the world. Is what I'm finding out right now. I'm just scrolling. There's actually too much. And all these the shorts have ruined YouTube. Bro, there's so much D&D content in the world. Right, what was it? It's not D&D reality shows. It was like a D&D reality TV. No, I think I'm gonna have to maybe try and find it on my own time. Which is incredibly unfortunate. People could pay for input on like encounters or specific monsters, maybe tasks for players. Yeah. What's happening? Session prep? No, we're prepping a reality TV show D&D edition. I want to make a YouTube show where we get 6 D&D players, and if they make it to the end of this incredibly hard dungeon, they share a prize pot of $100,000. And there's plenty of times where they can betray each other and kill each other, and if they do, they get a bigger amount of money. It's fundamentally it. That's it. And like, I remember years ago, like a channel tried to make a reality TV like D&D style show. I just can't remember what it was called because I would love to watch it. Which is such a huge shame because it would be so fun. I've literally, I scrolled so much that I found my own live stream that I'm doing right now. That's how much I've scrolled. It's just, oh, I don't want these shorts. It's just showing me always funny in Philadelphia clips now. Ah, well. I give up. I'll try and find it for next time. Limmy did some phone-in skits where he's running like a phone in D&D show. Really? Inception bonus reaction, yeah. Stream watching, stream watching, stream. Don't watch your own live stream. Well, let's see what happens. I can't find it now. This will be fine, probably. I think. Wow, it's slow. Oh my god, it's gonna be forever. Thoughts on world building for Daggerheart. I'm working on a world that's all islands, where each island is a big environment, but struggling with the story elements. It's cool though. Like each island is like a planet from Star Wars, and like it's got its own like ecosystem. What's happening, Marshall? Who was in it? When was this? I don't know. I'd have to really think about it. It was just I think it was just a bunch of smaller people who, like, no one that I was aware of was in it. I think they did like a trailer for it, and then they made like 3 episodes, and then it just didn't get the views it wanted. It was too expensive, so it just kind of died out. Genuinely would be so fun to do something like that, running a big dungeon or whatever over multiple days, even if it wasn't a show. It's now on your bucket list. Yeah. Everyone, thank you. Everybody, thank you for making him do a longer stream. Wait, where is... Do I have to, like, get... It's too slow, but in about 100 years, we will... this stream will be truly Inception. Martin, what is happening? Mariana, how is it going? Don't forget to like and subscribe your own live stream. No, I think that would be too much. I think that would be too far. I can't believe the delay on it. Is that how far back you guys are? I'm doing well. I'm a little hot. I might actually turn the AC back on for a second. Once again, let me know if it's way too annoying. Dude, I cannot wait for winter. Crazy thing to say, I know. There shall be no view botting in here, please. Oh yeah, the way chat's updating on the stream, fair. Liveception. Bonusception. Yeah, I got the AC with the tube. It is an absolute it's a game changer. The only real issue I have, apart from how loud it is very, very loud. I don't think you guys can even hear it like I can hear it. Bonus reception sounds like a wedding thing, but I like it. Bits and summer cannot exist in the same. I can't. Like my I've been like going to my. See, I've lost the ability to speak. My wife, I think, has looked at me the past 2 weeks and been like, "What have I done? This is the most pathetic human being I've ever seen." It's been too hot. It's been too hot to do anything. So, look, Mariana, before you judge me, the temperature that it actually is right now is 27 degrees. But it feels like 31 for what that is worth. It's very humid. Very humid. But this isn't that bad. Recently it's been like 31 or 32 degrees past couple of weeks, and it's been too much. You were best at minus 20. So yeah, I'm a solid 8-degree boy. Like, between 8 and 12 degrees is my favorite. Where am I located? I'm in Toronto, Canada. Canadian degrees, yes. Yeah, not there, not those other degrees. It's been crazy hot and humid. I'll give you that, lol. It's been too much. Yeah, I don't have AC in this house. I mean, I do now. With that AC unit that you can see in the stream we're watching. That AC unit is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, I think. This is not actually playing out like I thought it would. Oh, no, it will. It will. What I want is for my webcam to, like, be an infinity pool going off into the distance. Might take a while, though. Currently in Texas, it's 36 degrees and feels like 39. Get out of town. That's too much. Why would you live there? I'm sure it's cool. But I would need the best air conditioning in the world if I was dealing with that. Last winter, your friend in Edmonton said it was minus 28 degrees. Yeah, yeah. Toronto gets cold as well. I live in a city that jumps from 30 degrees to minus 30 degrees. It's crazy. Yeah, you don't have it in your house and it gets hotter in the house, especially upstairs and outside. Yeah, there's something about this room that I'm in the middle of my house, that just, it's always the hottest place. It's always hotter than the rest of the house, and it's always hotter than outside. It's nice in winter though, like it holds heat really well. But during summer, it's not fun. But all the rootin' and tootin' needs to be hot in Texas, yeah. Bonus AC-tion. It's good, Rogue. That's solid. What does DFW stand for? Sorry, I'm an unk. I'm an uncle. And it's less humid here than where I grew up in Louisiana. DFW. Is that a place? So I've been thinking about the same thing. The story would be One Piece. Like with Beast Feast elements from DH. Oh man. Oh man, this stream's getting crazy. By the way, you're new to my channel? Well, Mariana, welcome in. I hope you like it. Yeah, this isn't happening. Watching my own stream just seems to be zooming in. It's not doing what I was hoping it was, so we're going to stop that now. Oh. Don't fucking worry, is that? Fair enough. Oh, you're in Edmonton. Nice. Lol, the scrolling. Oh, it means Dallas Fort Worth. Don't fucking worry, Rogue. DFW. Hakuna Matata. Don't fucking worry. Those generally, I guess. Yeah. Do I stream regularly, or there's any social update streaming? I would like to use Twitter more. I don't have many followers on there, but I also sometimes hate Twitter, so I don't think there's an audience for me on Twitter. Maybe I should start using Blue Sky. Any plans to stream on MySpace? Yeah, actually, guys, I want to fill out my 8 top friends on MySpace. So if anyone wants to be number 1, let me know. But yeah, X, Twitter, whatever, is probably the place where I would like to like talk about my streams and stuff. I want to stream more often. I would like it to be like worth my time compared to like working on other videos. It's just been too hot recently. I think as it cools down, you're going to see me go live a lot more. It's usually 3 o'clock, 2 or 3 days a week. But we'll see. Follow Phil on social media. No, I'm bonus action. Maybe I should link it somewhere. Or maybe it might be in the description. Might not be. Afternoon tea action. So this is my Twitter. It's bonus action DnD, and as you can see, I do need to change my name to bonus reaction DnD now. And my Twitter's kind of a hot mess. So it's like streaming stuff mostly, and like weird stuff, and Critical Role stuff. Oh yeah. What's the application for MySpace Top Friend going to be like? Is it like the cutthroat D&D reality? Yeah, it is. It is. It's whoever survives my Daggerheart game, where rocks fall and kill everyone all the time. That's the prize. Which would you rather have? Would you rather be number 1 in my top 8 on MySpace or $100,000? I think it's probably the number 1 on the top 8 in MySpace. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. I don't actually actively do anything in games. I just react. I'll take the money. Bye, Felicia. That is insane, Rogue. That's an insane move. I think if I did a poll, almost everyone would want to be my number 1 friend on MySpace. Over $100,000. So whatever you're doing is like, you gotta like see a therapist or something. That's crazy. Crazy. Especially since it requires time travel. Yeah, we'll figure out the logistics at another point. Felicia is solid, Maurice. I got some good punners in my chat. You guys are good at puns. Your wife has priorities. Yeah, okay. Okay. The real question is, if you were in that game and you were playing D&D to win a share of $100,000 and you got to near the end and there was 4 people left and you had the chance to say, cut a piece of rope so that they all like fall to their death, would you do it? Would you kill your fellow player characters and walk away with $100,000, or would you save everyone and just walk away with $25K each? That's the real question. Yeah, I because you're not just, you're on a YouTube channel, like it's how you come across to the audience as well. It's kind of scary. It depends on the situation, but like, it'd be fun to put someone, find the nicest person in the world and put them in that situation and see what they do. Because it's an extra $75K. I think Aurora, you're 100% right. It's like, how much do I like these people? Would they do the same thing for me? You know? You'd go for the 100K. But it's also a dice roll, right? So there's a chance that you miss or you fail or whatever, but they all know that you just tried to kill them. Like, what would happen in that situation? Like, you throw a fireball at them, they're all really weak, but they all roll really well, and they all survive. They're killing you, for sure. That's it's the best. It's the best damn idea I've ever had in my life. Critical Role. Matthew Mercer. Travis Willingham. I would like to make this show for you. You just need to pay $100,000, a small budget, I know, and we will get a bunch of famous actual play stars to do it. And instead of like them winning the money will go to a charity of their choice. Hit me up. I'm putting that. I'm going to make this into a video, and I'm putting it at the end of it. I would like Critical Role to give me $100,000, and yes, the show would be called, Piker, Critical Decision. I don't think it doesn't even have to be $100,000. It can be. You probably do it for like 10,000. 10K is life changing still. $1 million. As long as Sam does the ads, you'll watch, yeah. You'd assume everyone would backstab you, so you'd backstab them first. Yeah, it's Wild West rules, right? It's like, you gotta shoot first before you get shot. Make it for the Critical Role Foundation, and Ashley will work for it. Yeah, so I'm not against the charity thing. I think it's less fun than if we get someone who is like lost their job and has 3 kids, and they have to like. This sounds so evil, but I'm thinking like I think like a TV reality show producer, and the reality is it's a better show if we get people who really need the money on there. They really need that money. That's more fun. Oh, so now you have to get famous before you can apply? Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. It depends what Critical Role want to do. And it'll be sorry. Also, it will be daggerheart. So it'll be a great marketing tool for your game. And it'll all be done in semi-good taste. Yeah, it's obviously Travis in that. I'm doing puppet eyes. Critical Role, please give me $100,000 for the content, for the really, really good content. Also, I would need to get paid, but I'm cheap. I'm very, very cheap. I'd pay you. I'd pay you. I did. I want it. I want it a lot. Yeah. Yeah. If we do Daggerheart, you can't choose to avoid death. That's not an option anymore. But you can go out. You can go out with a Blaze of Glory. That means that if your friend stabs you in the back and kills you, you can Blaze of Glory, critical stab them back. No, it would be. There would be no death saves. I think you hit 0 HP, you're dead. There would be no death moves, no death saves. You're just out of it. Because let's face it, you know, it's more exciting that way. Blaze of Glory comes out with a small payout, yeah. Yeah, if you just choose death, you get like $100. No, I think we're on to something, lads. Lads and lasses. Alright. It's almost 6 o'clock. That is wild. That's actually astonishingly surprising to me. So, here's the game plan. I'm going to go and edit down that last bit and try and secure $100,000 from Critical Role so we can make this show. And then next time I live stream, I'll hopefully have some good news for you, and we can start spitballing exactly how we're going to do it. And Yeah, Dagger Steak to the Heart. That's a different show. That's a D&D cooking show, which I think has been done. But yeah, all right, guys, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna bounce. But thank you everyone for hanging out and chilling. And yeah, next time hopefully I'll have some good news about our reality TV show competition style situation. And yeah, catch you guys later. Have a good one. Goodbye now. Enjoy the rest of your week.